Well, well, well. It's getting closer and closer. Dallas Cowboys free agency. Not just the Dallas Cowboys, but free agency in the NFL. It is getting ready to officially get started. And I don't know about y'all, but I am absolutely excited about free agency. Making some adjustments here. I am absolutely excited about Cowboys free agency. Absolutely excited. Everyone keeps saying what they think the Cowboys are going to do, but you know what? I'll be honest with you. I got to give the Cowboys credit. Jerry Jones, everyone is taking Jerry Jones in the wrong way. Jerry Jones is playing it close to the vest. And I think a lot of the things that the Cowboys are doing, smoke and mirrors. I see a whole lot of smoke and mirrors. I think even the press conference Jerry Jones did. I just think they've learned that over the years that when they tell people who they're interested in, what do people go do? It drives up a person's price. It draws interest to that person. It even makes people from time to time, they may jump in front of the Cowboys in the draft and try to get someone. And even as it applies to free agency, I think the Cowboys have been doing a lot of smoke and mirrors. And it's smart. Why tell everybody what you're doing? Why tell everybody who you're targeting? Nope. You get your plan together. You sit back. You wait and see what transpires. And then when you see what transpires, you make your move. And the Cowboys are waiting, y'all. And I love what they're doing. They are waiting patiently. The Cowboys are waiting patiently. There are so many other things that are going to happen before Monday. And I think the Cowboys full well know this. There are going to be so many things that are going to happen. And the one thing, if there was a theme to the Dallas Cowboys free agency this year, if there was a theme for me, it would absolutely be options. Cowboys are going to have so many options. There'll be no excuse not to fix this team. So many options. And if the Cowboys played their cards right, the Cowboys may be more competitive than even I'm dreaming of in 2025. The Cowboys can be ultra competitive. But today, we are going to focus this show totally on the Cowboys free agency needs. Because there's no more point in talking about the draft. We need to see what they're going to do in free agency first. Because the free agency, I think they're going to feel the roster out in the draft. But I think they're going to, and it's not like what they're going to do in free agency is not going to fill out the board either. It is. But I do think the Cowboys are going to be looking for not just filling spots. I think they're going to try to upgrade. I think they're going to try to make some serious upgrading spots. So today, we're going to do that. And I do plan on, somewhere towards the end of the show, I want you guys to call in and give me some education on some of this stuff. I want y'all to give me some education. Y'all kind of tell me where y'all are on some of these things, some of these people in free agency. Tell me some of the things that you would do. Let me get some greetings in, and then we're going to get right into this. Dak owns Filthy, what's going on? Mr. Shoddy, what's going on? Mr. J, good to see y'all. What's going on with you? Gregory Davis, Anthony Thomas, Jameson Taylor, hope all is well. Jared, what's going on? Jared said free agency is for veteran pickups. I say we try and target a run stuffing middle linebacker and strong safety in free agency. Yeah, it's funny. One of the things that I'm looking forward to the Cowboys addressing in free agency is defense. I kind of look at this a little bit different maybe than some people. The draft is rich with skill positions. And what I mean by skill positions, wide receiver, running back. Those are the two positions that are going to change life for the Dallas Cowboys. So, because the draft is so full of those positions, I am not worried about those positions in free agency. Now, if they can fill those positions, hey, fill them in free agency if you can. I think the Cowboys, if the Cowboys don't touch a wide receiver, if the Cowboys don't touch a running back, if the Cowboys, those two positions in particular, if the Cowboys don't touch those two positions, they will be absolutely fine. The Cowboys will be absolutely fine. The draft is just too doggone rich with wide receivers and running backs. And I think there's something else going on in this draft. And let me get some more greetings in here. I see a couple more. Georgie George, what's going on with you? Good to see you, Milton Green. The real Darryl, good to see you. Gregory Davis, what's going on? Gregory said, O-line, D-line, linebacker, cornerback, safety. You all thinking just like me. You're thinking just like me. Only place where I'm not, now, I would be thinking O-line in free agency, Gregory, but I think the Cowboys think they have the line already. So while that may be, and you know what? We're going to put O-line on there because this is exactly the way you expressed it today. This is the order that we're about to go in. Where I want to hit today, and y'all help me out. This is where I want to go today. We're going to look at the free agents available in the draft for every position. And y'all are going to help me for us to say, who do we think the Cowboys are going to get? Because at the end of the day, I want us to understand something. So many people get so offended by this stuff. There is no objective, and don't let me say there's not an objective, but there's no definitive answer. I think there could be some wrong answers. I think there's a lot of right answers, though. Everybody wants the Cowboys to get their guy. I think there's a whole lot of guys the Cowboys can get in this free agency, and I think they're going to be fine. But where we're going to attack, I want to attack first D-line, because I think that's the most immediate need. Then I want to attack linebacker, cornerback, and then, of course, safety. Then I want to take a look at O-line, because I really only have one person in my mind on O-line. But then I want to look at, and we'll probably do a lot more looking at offense maybe tomorrow, but we will look at it. There's three areas that I think the Cowboys need to be looking at, but not in free agency. I just don't think in the skill positions, there's no need in free agency unless you're going to get one of these guys at such a great price that you say we're going to roll with it. But the Cowboys, hey, Cowboy fans, don't trip if the Cowboys don't get nobody on offense in free agency. Don't even trip on it. Don't even trip on it. Man, this draft is too rich. It's just too rich. And we already got a great skill player in one of the positions. And so we'll be fine if we don't hit that position in free agency. So let's kind of start this off. I have pulled up, and matter of fact, I'm going to share, I think it's great to share knowledge. If any of you are at a computer, I'm going to put this in the chat. I just put a link in the chat. This link, in case you haven't looked at it, it is a great resource. You can look player, position by position, team by team. You can do all kinds of things with this particular link I just gave you. And you can look on there and you can see who are the top free agents available at every single position. And there's just so many different things you can do with this link. It's incredible. And let me pull up another link, and we're going to probably be looking back and forth at these two links. Now, the other one is just NFL.com. You guys have all of that stuff readily available. But I want to kind of keep NFL.com looking at that to kind of monitor maybe if there's a break, some kind of breaking news where someone else gets released. But this one right here, I feel on Sport Track, in case any of you haven't seen it. This one on Sport Track, I think it's probably one of the better ones out there because everyone has their own list. But it seems like to me, their list is a little bit more unbiased, and they're just listing, hey, these are the free agents available out there. Let me get a couple more greetings in, and then we're going to get right into this thing. We're going to get into our first position. Get right or get left. What's going on with you? Yes, peace and blessings, man. We love it. Peace and blessings in the chat. I want this to be one of these Cowboys channels, man. No chaos, no disorder, man. Just peace and a great place to talk about the Cowboys. LaQueen, what's going on with you? I don't think I've seen you in a minute. I'm glad to see you back in the house. Ty Church, what's going on? Ty Church. Boy, you said you bring back Michael Gallup. Boy, you tripping already. Don't know the best. What's going on? Oh man, you already stealing my thunder. Don't know the best. Don't know be the best. You're already stealing my thunder, but we're gonna talk about him. Gregory Davis, make a couple of trades. Jair Alexander, cornerback for the Packers. DK Metcalf. You know what? Let me put another category in here. Gregory Davis. Thank you for that. So we'll put possible trades. And yeah, Jair is definitely someone that we ought to probably be looking at. And then DK Metcalf. And you know, it's funny because Jerry already mentioned this. But man, they are talking about, at least Jerry is alluding to the fact that draft picks are at a premium. And I know why draft picks are at a premium this year. The skill positions are insane. The skill positions in this draft are insane. And so, you know, we have to think about it. You give up a skill position in this draft in the first 4 rounds. We've already done that. You give up a draft pick in the first 4 rounds. You've given up a possible great skill position. And I'm telling y'all something. Man, we better enjoy this draft. Do y'all realize we're picking at number 12? I don't know if we're really letting that sink in yet. We're picking number 12 in all the rounds. I was thinking about this today when I was kind of putting this show together. And the thing that blew my mind was, I want y'all to just breathe this in. Because of where we are in the draft, do y'all realize that at every position that we draft, we have the opportunity to be within the top 20 of those positions? Top 10 in positions. In some cases, we have the opportunity to clean house in this draft. And I know we do not have a 4th round draft pick. I'm not going to rule out the fact that the Cowboys are going to find a way to get a 4th round draft pick. Also, keep in your mind that if they follow through with what they said on Kevontae Turpin, 2nd round tender, $5.42 million, that the Cowboys actually have a possibility of getting another 2nd round draft pick. And I'm telling you, when we get to the draft is where I'm really going to just get excited, because the 5th round, the Cowboys have an opportunity to just, you do not get that opportunity many times. The Cowboys are going to have 4 picks almost in a row in the 5th round of the draft. Man, you want to talk about being able to build a team. That is crazy, because in those 4th and 5th rounds, man, that's where you can really get, and I'm not saying in the other rounds you don't get players, but in that 4th and 5th round, man, this is where you can really fill out your team with some potential superstars in the future. Cowboys are going to be able to do some damage in the draft. So the issue is, though, when you start talking about defense, and let's transition to defense. The issue is when you start talking about defense, we know that it's rare to come in as a defensive tackle and you start moving furniture. Very rare. So defensive tackle is something that has to be developed. So if you're looking for a defensive tackle and the one that you got it now is failing, well, one of the things that you might want to look at doing, and even if you have, quote unquote, your defensive tackles, there is nothing wrong with strengthening that position in free agency. Why? One, we don't know what Mozzie Smith is going to be. We're hoping he's going to turn the corner. We have signed Oso Digizua. We still need depth at the defensive tackle position. I would say, y'all tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say at the defensive tackle position, of course you want to have about, I would say 4 defensive tackles. And I say you definitely want to have a good rotation of 3. I mean, if you can rotate 4, it'd be great, but you want to have at least a good rotation of 3. You want to have 2 starters and 1 person that you bring in to maybe, okay, this is my run stopping defensive. This is when you got a treasure trove of, a wealth of players. Okay, this is my run stopping D tackle. This is my pass coverage. This is my pass rushing defensive tackle. Where you can just have so many different options to what you're going to do depending upon what you want to do. So, defensive tackle, we know that takes time to develop. Linebackers, you got to be an absolute super stud to come in and just immediately start breaking necks. Don't mean that you can't, but you're going to have to be a super stud. So, this is a position, again, you have to address to me inside of free agency. Cornerback, again, another NFL position that unless you're the Surtains of the world, the Reeveses, the Deons, unless you're those types of people, cornerback sometime in this league is a little bit tougher to come in and pick up on. Safety the same way. It's a little bit harder sometimes unless you're an elite safety. It's a little harder to come in and pick up on the speed of the game and those different things. So when you're talking about if you're missing things on defense, if you can, you go in free agency and you pick those positions up. Edge rushers. Don't let me forget that. Edge rushers. You want to get those. If you can get those in free agency, man, you go get you one in free agency. Because even those, again, unless they are super studs, boy, those positions are premiums. And so when you're missing those positions, it's not that you can't get them in the draft. But the problem is those players in the draft, they typically go in the top 10. So you get a shot at one of them. The rest of them, you got to fill them out. You got to try to go in free agency and get an upgrade at those positions because those are difference-making positions. And I really want the Cowboys to do damage on defense. So let's go to our defensive line, and I want to look at the defensive tackle position. All right, you guys help me out here at defensive tackle. Make sure we got this defensive tackle. Make sure we got this pulled up right. Now, the biggest player that everyone is talking about as far as defensive tackle, y'all tell me where you are with Jonathan Allen. I literally have Jonathan Allen right now because we already have our defensive tackles. Y'all tell me what you think. I pretty much already have Jonathan Allen at the top of the list of players the Cowboys should be talking to. Let me get a couple of more greetings in here, and y'all let me know what you think. What's going on, Milton Green? What's going on, Nisi? Good to see you in the chat. Big Dal, what's going on? Keenan Allen would be a nice, cheap option. Yeah, we're going to talk about him. And if we get to him, we're going to talk about Keenan Allen. I want to do a little bit of discussion on Keenan Allen, and I want to do some discussion on one Devontae Adams. Daniel M., what's going on there? He said, I'm here for a moment, but I won't say that this free agency, the Cowboys cannot have any more excuses. Oh, man. Daniel Lim, there are no excuses. The Cowboys have the draft and free agency are playing out perfectly for the Cowboys. Playing out perfectly for the Cowboys. If the Cowboys fail, it's because they want to. It's because they want to. It's the only thing I can understand. It would have to be only because they want to. What's going on, Buddha? Good to see you. Timothy Govern, what's going on? So where I am is, right now, as far as defensive tackle, I really think the Cowboys should be considering Jonathan Allen. Because I do think that Jonathan Allen is going to be affordable. I think Jonathan Allen, someone else came to my mind, but I'll tell you where I am in a moment. I do think that Jonathan Allen is going to be there or be available for the Cowboys to be able to get. I do. I think he'll be there to get. Now, another person, I have a question mark by this person. But y'all tell me what you think. I dropped him today on X. Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell is, 37 years old? Everybody keeps waiting on Calais Campbell to fall off a cliff, only for Calais Campbell not to fall off a cliff. He continues to be productive. And the reason why I say Calais Campbell, again, he's affordable. I think you get a lot of value at that pick. But also with Calais Campbell, you're not getting Calais Campbell to start. You're getting Calais Campbell to be a part of a rotation. That's what I would get Calais Campbell for. Now, y'all tell me what you think, but I'm really thinking that Calais Campbell could really be somebody the Cowboys should be looking at. I do. Again, very, very, very affordable. And let me look at a couple other things here before we go into another position. But these are the two guys for me, Jonathan Allen, and there's someone, let's see, another guy in here. I think the defensive tackle from the defensive tackle from the Philadelphia Eagles, I think he's going to be way too rich for the Cowboys. What's his name? Milton Williams. Milton Williams is, I believe, he's another one of these guys the Cowboys could be looking at. But I think Milton Williams is going to cost some major bread. And I think he's going to be out of the range of the Dallas Cowboys. I think he's going to be totally out of the range of the Cowboys. Vincent Johnson, what's going on? Vincent said Allen or Adams would be amazing. Williams, okay, yeah, you're talking about Jonathan Allen. Give me the first name for the Adams kid you're talking about. Kevin Howard, what's going on? Georgie George, for sure, we're in great position. Frederick Johnson, absolutely love Jonathan Allen coming out of Bama. Hope Dallas can get him. Frederick, I think the Cowboys can get him. Understanding now, Vincent Johnson makes a good comment. He says Jonathan Allen is washed. I say this. Vincent, not as a starter, as a rotational player. Even with Calais Campbell, as a rotational player. What do you think? Timothy Govern, he said, love you, G. Man, love you back. Appreciate you. And Vincent, okay, so if not Jonathan Allen, if not Calais Campbell, give me a name. Milton Williams. But I'm telling us, Milton Williams and some of these people that people keep throwing out for the Cowboys. You're 100% right. These players will be great for the Cowboys. But I'm very concerned. Milton Williams, Gregory Davis makes a great point. He gives us some of his stats. His measurements and things. He's 6'3", 290, 24 years old. And that's one of the issues with Milton Williams. Milton Williams, I think, is going to command a bag. Y'all tell me what you think. I think that he's going to command an absolute. I think he's going to command an absolute bag. I do. especially with Oso Digizua getting paid. He's going to command the bag. Yeah, don't know the best. I'm thinking the same thing. He's going to cost more than Milton Williams. I mean, he's going to cost more than Osa. I think the same thing. Timothy Governor, Calais Campbell. Hey, man, everybody keep waiting on Calais Campbell to fall off a cliff, and he hadn't done it yet. And he might be great as I'm just talking a pure rotational player. Pure rotational. He might be great for us. Campbell, George says he's a huge run stopper. He said, I agree, he is a rotation. Imagine Campbell reaches up his hand to block a tip pass for our linebackers to catch a tipped interception. Man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jared said we should try to get Nick Bolton. Jared, we're going to get him. We're going to get to him. He'll be next on our list. We're going to go linebackers next because the way I'm doing this, I think it's in order of need. And I do think the Cowboys have got to address this defensive tackle. We cannot go into this season again taking a chance on Mozzie turning the corner. They're big on Mozzie. They think he's going to turn the corner. But I want them to say also, let's get us some insurance. Let's get us some insurance so we don't have to rely totally on Mozzie. Osa is the man. Osa got paid now. Osa the man for us. We don't have to worry about Osa. But again, we also need depth. We saw what happened last year. Someone gets hurt, and then we're scrambling. We got to get depth. We do. Gimme Cash said he definitely isn't washed. Watch his film. Which one are we talking about, Calais Campbell or Jonathan Allen? I think both of them are still good. My girl, Angie the Rebel Chicks, what's going on? Jared, Calais Campbell is too old. Jonathan Allen is possible. The dream is Jonathan Simmons from Tennessee. Okay, now, is he a rookie? I'm sorry. He must be a draft pick. Now, draft-wise, the Cowboys are going to have so many options. But I do think if you're talking about defensive tackle, they have got to fill the defensive tackle position, I believe, in free agency. And then you can go and get one of those guys in the draft and start developing him now, because now we know, as some of these experts have been telling us, it takes about 3 years to develop one of these defensive tackles. Javon Kinlaw. Okay. Javon Kinlaw. I think I've been seeing that name in quite a few places. Yep, Javon Kinlaw. Yes, he is on the list. Javon Kinlaw. He's another one. And I think when we start talking about these players, I think some of these players, for example, we'll put a star by Milton Williams. Milton Williams is a dream. And understand, if we get somebody like Milton Williams, you just took a big part of the cap away. So we're going to have to figure out, how do we get high value squeezing these players inside of the salary cap? And it's not like we don't have money, but we got to make sure we be able to spread the money around. Vincent Johnson said we need Bulls at defensive tackle. Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. Throw us a couple of names out. Give Me Cash said Kavarius Ward, Dre Greenlaw will change the attitude of this defense. Yeah, Kavarius Ward is actually one of the guys we have at cornerback. I'm in agreement with you on Kavarius Ward. But again, let's think about Kavarius Ward. He's one of these guys that we're going to have to spend a little bread on if we get him. But I want you guys to be thinking on the whole thing about the defensive tackle position, because I do think we need help on that interior line some more, at least as far as depth goes, rotation goes. Yeah, but Javon Kinlaw, he's one of the top guys that people are talking about. There's some other people on here. Let me throw some names out. Kevin Givens for the San Francisco 49ers. He may be out there or is out there. Jonathan Hankins, defensive tackle, ex-defensive tackle for the 49ers. What do y'all think about Jonathan Hankins? Oh, I'm sorry. Ex-defensive tackle for the Seahawks. We got a couple other guys out there. Now, the funny thing about this is, too, when you think about some of these these guys who are out there, some of them are older. We got Khalil Davis out there, San Francisco 49er defensive tackle. He's out there. He could be a part of the rotation. What do y'all think about him? And the reason why I'm mentioning some of these people is because I think they're going to be affordable. I think they're going to be very affordable. And they may be really good to put inside of the rotation. We got someone like, what do you think about Quentin Jefferson, Jordan Phillips, Sheldon Day? Those are some older players that you could throw into the rotation. But I think with the Cowboys, my mind is telling me with the Cowboys, I'm not listening to them say they're not going to do anything in free or people taking the interpretation they're not going to do anything in free agency. They are. You don't move money like they're doing not to do anything in free agency. You do not do that. I think the Cowboys may get one big fish, one medium fish, and maybe some multiple small fish. So the question is going to be, who is going to be the big fish? Who's going to be the big fish the Cowboys get? Because at this point, we don't know who the big fish is going to be. But they're probably going to get a big fish out there in free agency. Let me get a little further down. My man Mills, what's going on? G reports on Najee Harris for 3 years and either Noah. Bro, I hope not, man. I hope not. But I do think the quarterback from Alabama is going to be a huge pop. I think the Cowboys may pick him up. Don't know the best. Dre Greenlaw coming off an Achilles and a patella injury. I love him, but I'd rather take a non-injured major league. Oh, middle linebacker at Nick Bolton. Don't know the best. I'm going to go on and tell you before Nisi tell you. If Dre Greenlaw is coming off an Achilles and a patella injury, he's exactly what the Cowboys looking for. He's exactly what they're looking for. And the reason why the Cowboys would probably be looking for a player like that, like Kinlaw, they would be willing to take the risk. Because coming off those injuries, the price can't be too high. The price can't be too high. It really can't. So I can see it happening. D-Block, my man, what's going on? I can see it happening. Give me cash. Yeah, Milton Williams, well, he going to require some money. Yeah, Milton Williams going to require some money. Kinlaw would be amazing. He's only 27. So he might be somebody that they may have on the list. But I think they got to get somebody. They got to get a defensive tackle, and he can't be at the upper end of the pay scale. He got to be somewhere towards the medium to the low. He's got to be in that range. Nisi said Hankins was old and McCoy, and they brought them in. Why not Calais Campbell? Nisi, I'm telling you, man, if everybody go back and check Calais Campbell, everybody keep waiting on Calais Campbell to fall off a cliff. He hasn't fallen off a cliff yet. He's still playing well. He's still playing well. He's still moving people around. He's still good in the run. I mean, that man Calais Campbell is still balling. He is. Calvin Richard, appreciate that super chat. Calvin Richard said if the Cowboys don't address defensive tackle, we'll be talking about the draft in midseason again. No doubt. They got to do it again. Calvin, they got to hit defensive tackle again. They have to. And I'm telling you, I've learned more this year about the importance of defensive tackles than any time I've watched football. And I'll tell y'all this, the Cowboys not only need to address defensive tackle in free agency, go out here, and I'm telling you, if I'm the Cowboys, Jonathan Allen for me is target number one. Jonathan Allen is target number one for me. But the Cowboys have to have an attitude that even Jonathan Allen will not be enough in free agency. Go address this position also in the later rounds of the draft. Get you and who knows, the Cowboys may even try to get another defensive tackle in third. But I think this is a position because we know the Cowboys for years. I'm going to drop a video on y'all tonight after this live stream. I'm not going to tell you what it's about because I don't want anybody else to steal this thunder because I noticed that no one else is talking about it. But I got a video I'm going to drop on you that's going to be so powerful talking about this thing with the Cowboys. The Cowboys have been terrible at the run for the last 3+ seasons. They got to fix this once and for all. Matty Eberflus and his crew have got to fix this once and for all. We're gonna move, and y'all can keep throwing out defensive tackles. But Ken Law, Jonathan Allen, Calais Campbell could be a cheap rotational player. Even if he doesn't play, he may be good just to even have him on the bench. I'm telling you, the Cowboys have got to think along these lines. You got to stock up at defensive tackle. And let's go to, before we go to linebacker, I said we was going to go to linebacker, but before we go to linebacker, we have got to go to defensive end. The Cowboys have got to get Micah Parsons another edge rusher. They have got to get this defense another edge rusher. And I mean a bona fide go-getter, headhunter, quarterback headhunter. They're going to have to spend a little bit more money. They're going to have to spend a little bit more money on this, but they're going to have to do it. Now, the player that I would like for the Cowboys to go get as an edge rusher. Now, these are one of these players to me is a dream player. But I would definitely try to kick the tires on a deal for this guy if I could. As an edge rusher, I would like for the Cowboys to go and kick the tires on one Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat was only $10 million last year. I do have a feeling Josh Sweat's going to cost more money this year. But if I was the Cowboys, I would definitely go out here and I would be looking at one Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat is a monster. And really, there's two kids on the top of my list at edge rusher. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Some of y'all been listening to me. Y'all already know who the second guy is. The second guy I want the Dallas Cowboys to take a serious look at is none other than Chase Young. Let me put this on the screen for you. None other than Chase Young. Chase Young, I really would like them to take a look at this kid. I think Chase Young would be great on this defense. I think he'd be great on this defense. Chase Young is only 25 years old, about to be 26 years old. Chase Young, to me, is one of these players. It seems like people keep bringing him in on a one-year deal. I mean, he's kind of getting paid on it. But if I was the Cowboys, man, I might consider bringing this kid in on a 3-year deal and let him be a part of the plan. Let him be a part of the plan of what we're doing here for the next 3 years. Another guy I would bring back if I was the Cowboys. Y'all tell me what you think. Dante Fowler. Dante Fowler, man, he made $3 million last year. Why not bring him in here for $3 million? I would love to see him in here for $3 million. Now, they have Calais Campbell at defensive end, but if I'm not mistaken, Calais Campbell plays both defensive end and defensive tackle, if I'm not mistaken. But that may be another reason why you may want someone like Calais Campbell just as an insurance policy. Somebody as a part of a rotation in some sense. Now, one of our guys is on here. I've heard people say we should bring back, people are saying we should bring back Chauncey Golston as an edge rusher. I actually wouldn't be opposed to bringing back Chauncey Golston. I mean, he's 27 years old. He only made $1 million last year. Another one of our guys on here, Carlos Watkins. Carl Lawson is on here. And, of course, they got DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence is up here. What are y'all thoughts on bringing back DeMarcus Lawrence? DeMarcus Lawrence, the Cowboys have already paid him $127 million. They've already paid him $127 million. So it sounds like they want him back, but it also sounds like they want him back at the right price. Now, some of these names on the list, if y'all know a little bit more about these names as an edge rusher, please throw some of these people out. They got a guy, Charles Amanihu, DeMarcus Walker, Marcus Davenport, Dietrich Wise, Foley Fatakase, Jaron Reed, John Kaminsky, Brandon Graham, Cleveland Farrell, Morgan Fox. I've already mentioned Dante Fowler. I mean, there are quite a few names on here. Quite a few names in here. And again, some of these guys are our guys, but we probably don't want to get too far down. I don't want us to be bargain shopping for some of these guys, but I think there are some players on here the Cowboys should really be looking at. What about the kid here from the New York Giants, Azeez Ojulari? He's only 24 years old, about to be 25. He made $1.6 million last year. But for me, at edge rusher right now on my list, Josh Sweat, Chase Young, Dante Fowler, maybe Chauncey Golston, DeMarcus Lawrence, if it's at the right price. And I mean, it had to be super cheap. But y'all tell me what you think on that. But again, I'm also going to put an asterisk down here. Edge rusher also needs to be addressed in the draft. Defensive tackle also in the draft. We still need to get those positions in the draft. Let me read down some. Y'all tell me what you think. If I'm awake, what's going on? What's going on with you? Ice Cold Cowboy, my man in the crib. Damon Bama Boy, what's going on? All right, let me see here. See where I can get, let's see. Let me start with my man Louise. What's going on with you? Wilson Santiago, what's going on? Let me start with you real quick. Wilson says, Cowboys need to change their mind on opening up that checkbook. Cheap shopping isn't it, and they need to understand that not everyone will want a team-friendly deal. For sure. And especially, Wilson, when you're talking about impact players, I think you're going to spend a little bit more money. And I don't want the Cowboys shopping at the bottom. I think they need to be somewhere in that mid. If it's the mid, in between the mid and the best, or the mid and the lowest. But don't be at the lowest. Mills said Mozzie will be a Pro Bowler. He was getting it together in the second half of the season. Well, they say it takes about 3 years. So Mozzie, according to all accounts, Mills, he about to have a breakout season. He about to have a breakout. Jared is long in the tooth but healthy. No major injury in 9 years. His last contract was $2 million with a guarantee vet min. You're not getting that kind of experience any cheaper. Yeah, I would love to have. I would love to bring in some of those type of players for sure. DJ said, how about DJ Reader and Poona Ford? Strictly to the run with Osa being a pass rusher. Let me put, you said DJ Reader? All right, we got some more added to the list. And then he said Poona Ford. Yeah, and Campbell, I think Campbell could back up Osa 1 year, and we draft Kenneth Grant from Michigan and let him replace Campbell. Whoa, I like that. Because D-Hawks, we got to still address it in the draft. We still have to address it in the draft. But what we're looking at right now is exactly what we're talking about. Players that we're going to bring in, and they're going to play right now, be in a rotation of some sort, but also help us to be able to develop a rookie if we draft him. Help us develop a rookie. Give that rookie some time so we don't have to do what we did last year and just throw him into the fire. We don't have to throw him into the fire. Damon, that Bama boy, he said, Jerry will wait. That should change no one giving that kind of asset. Man, I'm telling you, we're going to see. But the Cowboys, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think they'll do day 1, but day 2 and 3 for sure. Chase Young. Yeah, I would love to have Chase Young for sure. I would love to have Chase Young for sure. Yeah, Chase Young, man, I'm telling you, I would love to have Chase Young. Chase Young for sure. Chase Young, absolutely. Josh Sweat, no way, he's inconsistent. I live in Philly, trust me. He struggles against the run, too. Also, no, I'm cool on him. And I think he's going to get the bag, too. I think he's going to absolutely get the bag. Yes, sir. What up, my man, Louise? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm telling you, Marcus, what's going on, Marcus Wary? Man, I would love to see Chase Young here. I'm awake. Gee, why do y'all want our former players? I don't know if I want the former player, but Dante Fowler, I think, would be pretty good. I do think Dante Fowler would be pretty good. I'm awake. DeMarcus Lawrence, I'm not saying I want DeMarcus Lawrence, but it seems like the Cowboys want DeMarcus Lawrence. It seems like the Cowboys want him. So I would not be surprised if DeMarcus Lawrence is on the team. I'm just not going to be surprised. Gimme Cash said they need to grab Devontae Adams. Him and CD would go crazy. Oh, yeah. We're going to bring up Devontae Adams when we get towards the wide receivers. We're definitely going to talk about Devontae Adams. I want to circle the block on him and have a conversation about one Devontae Adams, for sure. Ice Cold, he said Chase Young is interesting. Man, I'm telling you, I bring him in, man. I would definitely bring him in for a conversation, for sure. For sure. Don't know the best. He said, y'all forget Quinn told Mozzie to go from 330. I don't. I don't. He told him to go from 330 to 290 during the season. And Summer asked him to go back to 330. Oh, and then Zimmer, yeah, he did. Asked him to go back to 330 the offseason while he had shoulder surgery. He couldn't lift weights. He's good. Yeah, they're saying he's going to have a breakout season. Everything I'm hearing about him, he's going to have a breakout season. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it for sure. Bama boy Damon said he'll take that boy Chase Young too. I'll take Chase Young only because we know Jerry not going after Myles Garrett. Man, let me tell you. Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns are at war. Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns are at war. Myles Garrett is up in there, man, talking about that. He up in there threatening to hold out. He's threatening to hold out, and one of our female Cowboy let me say it right. One of our female Cowboys YouTubers she has a very good football mind too. She goes by the name of Stargazer. She's new to me. A lot of y'all already probably know her. Y'all probably see her on X. But she's been talking about some of these things too. But Myles Garrett Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns at war. They are at war. And, she was commenting on this, and I've been commenting on it too, because it doesn't make sense to me that you have a player that doesn't want to play for you. You don't have a championship nowhere in sight. There's 2 years left on the deal. Why not go get something for Myles Garrett? Why even go through this? I wouldn't even go through this if I was them. They should definitely be calling up the Cowboys seeing if they want him. I mean, for sure. I would get something for him. I would get something for him while I can. Because if not, he's just going to be a distraction on the team. He is. Don't know the best said, no D-Law, bring back Chauncey. Yeah, D-Law, yeah, I'm with you too, Mr. Shotty, need young blood. D-Law, for whatever reason, they're saying that they want D-Law. D-Law with that injury bug. Yeah, I see that too. Game of Bomber, boy, D-Law got a little bit of conversation. He says, I like D-Law to return, but it sounds like they're far off on the amount of money. I think so too. I think so too. I think they're way off on money. Chase Young over DeMarcus. Oh, man, for sure, pure gaming. No doubt about it. No absolute doubt about it. Bama boy, he said, I want DK Metcalf. Man. We're going to talk about both of them. They will be at the top of our wide receiver discussion. They will be at the top of our wide receiver discussion, no doubt. But I bet you Jerry brings in Cooper Kupp or Lockett. Yep, we're going to talk about those two also. And the reason why, and we'll get back to them in a moment, but the reason why I think Tyler Lockett comes in is because of the Brian Schottenheimer connection. It is not going to surprise me. It is not going to surprise me. Don't know. He said the only good name I heard was Amani Who. Cowboys maybe should have him on the list then. But they got to address. And I'm going to circle back around on the defense. Because of the next question, then I'm going to open up the lines. I want y'all to tell me some things if you're in the mood for it tonight. But again, I'm going to boil this down. And matter of fact, I'm going to have this all in nice graphics tomorrow. We're going to be talking about free agency all the way up until Monday. But I have this categorized in how I think the Cowboys are going to do it. There will be a big fish. I think there will be a medium fish. And then I think there will be the small fish. And as a matter of fact, not only the small fish, there may absolutely be we may even have a category for goldfish. May even have a category for goldfish. Because I do think they're probably going to get some smaller. There'll be some smaller players they'll get after. You know how the Cowboys do. Free agency is over, then they go get the crumbs. They go get some of the crumbs and say, we're going to go with those two. Damon said there's plenty of edge rushers in this class. Man, the Cowboys, this draft is set up perfect for them. Perfect for them. Louise said he'd take BK Chauncey. Yeah, I'm awake. He says going defense. Man, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm awake. If I'm the Cowboys in free agency, all defense. I don't need offense in this draft unless a couple of these guys we're going to discuss in a moment on offense, unless they're coming in here with some extremely friendly deals. Damon, Bama Boy Davis said, free agency, he said, give me Jonathan Allen, Greenlaw, Fowler on offense, DK Metcalf, and Devontae Adams. Oh, man, that'd be great. Man, that'd be absolutely great. The issue is on these guys on offense is going to be the price. That DK price will come down if he isn't traded by the draft. During the draft, you can finesse teams better. Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. That's a good point. Give me cash. It's a great point. Ice Cold Cowboy, we have 4 fifth-rounders. Oh, man, Ice Cold, let me tell you something. Man, I'm going to do a whole show on the 5th round. I promise you. I'm going to do a whole show on the 5th round of the draft. The Cowboys' 5th round, man, has me so excited. I'm telling y'all, when you look at the Cowboys' 5th round, you do not have that type of opportunity. They literally can almost get 4 players in a row. You literally have an opportunity to get 4 of the best players in the 5th round. It's incredible to me. It's incredible. It really is. Yeah, we need some big bodies to stop the run, then let Parsons go to work. And he's going to he needs another edge rusher too. He does. The real Daryl, I like what you're saying. I want the Dallas Cowboys to be smart in free agency. The splash signings are good for talk, but they need to make football moves. And I do think they're going to do that. I'm going to give this front office more credit than anybody else is giving them. I would definitely give them, I definitely think they're going to do something. Okay, young star, I see what y'all saying now. You said Michael Gallup is making a comeback to the NFL, so someone brought, I thought that was a joke. Dallas, be prepared if we bring him back. I will not be surprised if the Cowboys bring him back because we're still paying him, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they want him back. I'm sure they will want Michael Gallup back. And I think Michael Gallup took a break because of injury. I don't think his leg was quite right. I think what he did is he went and got his leg right. And now that his leg is right, he's saying, now I'm ready to come back. See, I wish the Cowboys would do this for Trayvon Diggs. I think Trayvon Diggs needs to sit out an entire year. Trayvon Diggs shouldn't think about the field for an entire year. Get that leg totally healed. Let's see what's going on with this bone graft. Let's see what's going on with that bone graft. Trayvon Diggs, sit out for a whole season. But if he comes back too quick, he'll be in a similar situation. Yeah, Michael Gallup, when he got his leg right, I think it's why he came back. Game Bomber 1, he says he thinks that Chase Young is just a guy. Didn't impress in San Francisco or New Orleans, a younger Jadeveon Clowney. Now, let me say this about Chase Young. Here's where I'm in agreement, maybe where you're kind of going. I think what happened with Chase Young was way overrated. We just have to temper our expectations with a player with Chase Young. But what I do think is that he's good enough that you can put him in a rotation. He's good enough that if the coaches are everything we think they're going to be, they may be able to get something out of Chase Young that no one has seen yet. So I am absolutely good if they can bring him in for a good price and put him in the rotation and still address that in the draft. Still have to address it in the draft. Yeah, Mills, I thought you was tripping on that, but I got you now. I got you. I thought it was you who brought it up, but I got you. Yeah, okay, he's on the comeback. I'm going to check that out. Jonathan Allen and Hargrave. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's put Hargrave up there, too. I think what we'll do when we come back on some of these names y'all giving me, we'll come back and look at some film on them in the next couple of days as we get ready to build up until Monday, Tuesday. And really the thing starts on Wednesday, but we're going to hear a lot of action going on, a lot of action going on come Monday and Tuesday. All right, guys, I appreciate some of the stuff you're telling me. KC, what's going on? Big, medium, small. Yeah, I think they're going to go big fish, medium fish, small fish for sure. Let's go a little bit further on defense. We're gonna get to offense. Y'all talking about the DK Metcalf thing, DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams, and let's throw Keenan Allen in there too. These are some discussions that we need to have about this wide receiver spot, and I'm gonna give you my thought process on that too. KC said if they play their cards right, they can get 2 big fish, a medium fish, and a few small fish. I agree with that too. Yeah, KC says Chase Young can be a small fish with big fish potential. Hey, I'm telling you, man, if they're right on, if their coaches are what we think they are, they're going to be okay. Damon said, "Hey G, in one of our draft rounds, would you trade back to acquire an extra pick since we don't have a 4th round pick?" Now, Damon, Bama boy, hold on. We may not have to do none of that. I think we're going to know something about Kevontae Turpin. We may not have to do anything. Let's sit back and wait, Bama boy. Kevontae Turpin, if everything stays the same from what they're saying, 2nd round tender. 5.42, I'm thinking. $5.5 million. Will there be a team that is willing to give up a 2nd round tender for Kevontae Turpin? I just have a strange feeling that somebody would. Why wouldn't a team who is right there on the cusp of saying, hey, man, a few more playmakers and we're in this thing? Kevontae Turpin is a difference maker. If you use Kevontae Turpin right, Kevontae Turpin is a difference maker. If they kick the ball to him, he's definitely a difference maker. But if you can get him in space as your 4th wide receiver, and I mean, you give him some short passes. I don't think we need to do all the deep stuff. I don't think he's necessarily built for the deep stuff. But I think he's built more for the in-space stuff. That if you can get him a throw in space, let him do the rest. Because once he gets a step, he's gone. There's nobody catching Kevontae Turpin once he gets going. There's nobody catching him. I got a strange feeling that the 2nd round tender, Bama boy, we may actually not even have to worry about another 4th. We may have 2 2s. And depending upon what happened at the top half of that draft, y'all get ready. I think they're going to trade back anyway. Y'all get ready. I think they're going to trade back anyway. If at number 12, what they want is not there, the Cowboys are going to trade back anyway. They're either going to get another number 2 or a number 3. They're going to trade back. I believe they're going to trade back anyway if they don't get what they want at 12. So we got a lot to we just got so much that can happen, and I think all of this is set up perfectly. And the first domino, as far as us getting that extra draft pick, Bama boy, again, no one's talking about this, but I'm telling you, this Kevontae Turpin thing may turn out to be huge. You get another number 2. If we get another number 2 in this draft, what does that do for us? Man, that's crazy. You get another number 2 in this draft? Think about the possibilities. You get another number 2, you could literally go defense in the 1st round if you wanted to. And in the 2nd round, if you get 2 2s, running back and wide receiver right there. A lot of opportunities. Man, I'm telling you, some things are really going to shake down in the free agency model or in the free agency portion that's going to really tell us some things that we're going to be able to do or maybe not do in the draft. We never know. Maybe the Cowboys trade a draft pick to get a player. They could do that too. I mean, just think about the possibilities. We're gonna find out a whole lot of stuff in free agency. I'm telling you, we are. Jesse Tyler Taylor. Let me put him on the list. D Hop and CeeDee Lamb and for sure Chase Young. We're gonna put them on the list. All right, let me go down a little bit more because I want to get to a phone call portion tonight. The next thing to go to is linebacker. And when we go to linebacker, man, the top of the list for me right now is Nick Bolton. I've seen some people saying some things about Nick Bolton, though. Some people are saying that Nick Bolton is not all he's cracked up to be. That's what I'm hearing. They're saying that he is not all he's cracked up to be. Now, I have another person on here. Someone balked at in the chat the other day. But I think that Nick Bolton would be a great pick. But I think Nick Bolton, despite what people say about Nick Bolton is going to be a big fish for somebody. Nick Bolton is going to be a big fish for somebody. I don't care what anyone's saying about this guy. He had 106 tackles this year. He had 73 solo tackles. He not only had 73 solo tackles, he had 33 assisted tackles. And when you look at his performance in the postseason, Nick Bolton was pretty good. Nick Bolton was pretty good, man. I don't know what people Nick Bolton was pretty good. He was. And at linebacker, the Cowboys, again, they got some options. Now, a lot of people, Joey Bosa, he's listed as an outside linebacker. Joey Bosa has the injury bug. I think that's what a lot of people have been saying about Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa has the injury bug. Khalil Mack is 34 years old. I think if you bring in Khalil Mack is probably a 2-year deal with the understanding it's a 1-year deal. But the guy who I would love for the Dallas Cowboys to get is Hassan Reddick. I wanted the Cowboys to get Hassan Reddick last year. They didn't make a trade for him. I also would like for the Cowboys, if I had something to do with it, I would also be calling up Dre Greenlaw. I would have to hear what his I would have to hear what his agent is talking about. I would definitely bring him in. Another name that I heard today from a very trusted YouTuber, Lock on the Cowboys. I heard them talking about Robert Spillane. He's saying that Robert Spillane is better than people think he is. He mentioned Robert Spillane. There was another player he mentioned I want to check out. Okay, he also mentioned Jermaine Sherman. Y'all tell me if you know anything about Jermaine Sherman. I didn't get a chance to go look at any tape on him yet. But he was also saying that Jermaine Sherman would be another good pick for the Cowboys in free agency. Now, if you look at Robert Spillane, he's from the Las Vegas Raiders. He only made $3.5 million. So he is definitely going to be in the Cowboys price range. I think I've heard some people talk about Shaq Thompson from the Carolina Panthers. Of course, he's going to be in the Cowboys price range. These are $3 million. And, man, let me tell you who I think they ought to bring back. I think the Cowboys ought to bring back Eric Kendricks. Eric Kendricks played great. Eric Kendricks played great. He really did. Eric Kendricks played extremely well for the Dallas Cowboys. I would definitely be looking at him. But right now, as far as these linebackers go, this is kind of where I am on my linebacker list. Nick Bolton, Khalil Mack, Hassan Reddick, Dre Greenlaw, and I would like to take a look at this Robert Spillane and Jermaine Sherman, and I would still be willing, for the right price, to bring in Joey Bosa, even though I don't think it's going to be a possibility. I will not be surprised if the San Francisco 49ers run and get Joey Bosa to play with his brother if they get him in, if they could get him in for a good price. Yeah, we're going to have a real good discussion. I see y'all keep talking about Adams and Devontae Adams. We're going to have a real good discussion about him in a moment. Damon Bama Boy Davis, he said D-Hawks is for real. Yeah, we're going to see. We'll see if the Cowboys try to make a run at him. Vincent Johnson, a second round for Turpin and a second round to free agent Turpin and a third round to free agent moving back in the first three. In the first three number twos. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, Kevontae Turpin, if they pull off this Kevontae Turpin thing, it's going to be incredible. I mean, I'm going to cry about it on the front end, but on the back end, I'm like, oh, man. Cowboys going to have two number twos in this draft with the skill positions in this draft. Man, you could get you a wide receiver and two running backs right there. Boom, boom. You get you a wide receiver, cornerback, and a running back. Boom. And still say in the third round, man, defensive tackle. Man, they mess around and get two number twos. Man, the Cowboys can do work. The Cowboys can do work. For real, though. Matthew Judson. Oh, Matthew Judon. Okay. I see him right here. 32 and a half years old. Atlanta. Okay, Matthew Judon. Cowboys got some, man, I'm telling you, they got some options. They do. They got some options, man. There is no doubt. There is no doubt. The Cowboys are going to have so many options. Mill said Nick Bolton is undersized. Okay. Dustin Roberts, what's going on? He said, I want Bolton and lower level starters to fill our holes so we can take best player available. Donald the Best said Bolton. He said Bolton got enough muscle. He just short. If I'm awake, said you can't make this up. Okay, Spillane, Greenlaw, and Kendricks. Yeah. Jamie and Sherwood. Okay. Jesse Tyler, he said, I would take Fowler back. Just need to stop having costly penalties. As far as Turpin is concerned, fast, good with a couple of trick plays for a second round. I'll take that any day. Man, I'm telling you, boy, if they get that, I'm going to cry on the front end, Jesse, but I'm going to be excited on draft day. Man, what two number twos does for you in this draft gives you so much flexibility, and I got a strange feeling. I think the Cowboys are hoping somebody takes that on Kevontae Turpin. I got a strange feeling the front office hope somebody takes it. I do. Vincent Johnson, Kendricks led the team in tackles. Man, let me tell you something. I was looking at him early in the season. And when you look at Eric Kendricks' stats, man, they were incredible. I don't know. Maybe they were not incredible, but I'm sorry. I just thought they were absolutely, for what he did for the whole season, it was great, man. He was great. And I just think with a better linebacking core, I think he would be even better. I do. This is him right here when you kind of look at his season in totality. He was 71 in solo tackles. That was 31st. That's not too bad. Had 3 sacks, tied for 135th. I mean, had 2 interceptions, tied for 38th. I mean, hey, man, he looked pretty good. He really did. He looked pretty doggone good to me. I mean, look at this bottom stat line. He literally had 138 tackles. He had 71 solo, 67 assisted. He was busy. He was. He had 3 sacks. I mean, he had what? I think that's Stuffs, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. I mean, 10 for 12. I mean, he was good, man. He had 3 forced fumbles. Cowboys really ought to consider bringing him back. They really ought to consider bringing him back. I mean, okay, yeah, that's so that's stuffed yards. Okay, that's what I thought. Stuffed yards. So he had 10 stuffs and he had 12 stuffed yards. I mean, Eric Kendricks. The Cowboys could probably bring him back for chicken feed. And he would be really good with some other good linebackers. If I was Cowboys, I'd bring him back. I really would think about bringing Kendricks back. I really would think about bringing Kendricks back. Sean M., what's going on? LaDonna, what's going on? She said Kendricks was cool, but get Greenlaw Bolton. Kendricks is cheap enough. You could probably get both of them. Kendricks is good enough. You could probably get him and another one of these guys. Nick Bolton, Dre Kinlaw, Eric Kendricks. There it is, Todd Church. I mean, and then you got Sam Williams coming back. Got DeMarion Overshown coming back. Man, it's going to be great problems to have. And then you got up and coming, Leah Fau. Leah Fau looked pretty doggone good. He did. King K, he said this year free agency is weak. We'll have to overpay for players to come here. Problem Jones thinks players should give a discount playing here. They're going to have to get some value in some of these guys. They are. You know, it's funny that you say that, King K, and I don't know if it's weak, but I'll say this. I noticed a trend in this year's free agency. There are a whole lot of older guys. Some of these teams are going to have to take chances on older guys. They are. They're going to have to take chances. Crush. I don't think they're going to trade Turpin. I think what they're wanting is someone to get him to try to make an offer for him because they have him as a restricted free agent and they got a second round tender on him. They want somebody to come get him. The Cowboys are content with keeping him. But if somebody come get him, they're not tripping. They're not tripping if somebody come get him. Sean M. said we should have went after Judon last year before Atlanta got him. We got another opportunity, it looks like. Adams for 10 to 15 million, Bolton for 10 plus, and BJ Hill for 5 million, and Kavarius Ward for 10 million. Man, now you said Adams for 10 to 15 million. Boy, I'm all in right there. Intelligent Savage, what's going on? Yes, sir. I agree with you. Smash that like button. Ice Cold, man, I talked about this already. When it come to Ferg and Schoonmaker, I'm sitting Ferguson down. I'm letting Ferguson know, bro. Bro, you on the clock right now. This is a make-or-break season for me with Ferg. Now, Ferg had some injuries last year. Dak had some injuries, and so the connection wasn't there. So, I'm going to give Ferguson the benefit of the doubt and see what does he do when Dak comes back healthy. But my patience with Ferg is down to one season. If I was the Cowboys, I would be knocking on Atlanta's door. It was talked about last year. I think the Falcons wanted to shake Kyle Pitts. I would at least knock on the door. I would at least knock on the door and say I got the wrong address, but does Kyle Pitts live here? I mean, I would at least knock on the door. I would. Dak owns filthy. He said Nick Bolton is 6 foot, 231 pounds. He's managed just fine. Whoa. Sean M. said, can we move on from Sam Williams? Woo! I would love for him to ball out, but we can get something for him while he's worth something. I believe he's one more injury away from being out the league. They took a big chance when they got him the first time. I think they're saying that they want him to come back. Azteca, what's going on, my man? He said Nick Bolton, Spillane, Nick Bolton, Dre Greenlaw, Ernest Jones, Levante David. They got some options out there. They do. They definitely got some options out there. Angie Rebels Chicks, she said Dak owns. Hold on a second, let's see. Game Bomber said, I kind of hope someone's giving us a second-round pick for Turpin, too. Hey, man, it's a win-win. I'm with you. Either the best kick return in football comes back or we get an extra second round. And with the speed that we saw at running back and with the speed that we saw at wide receiver especially, what do we have, 10 guys running 4 threes? Not saying you can replace Turpin, but you can get you another kickoff returner. Angie said, would you bring Gallup back? He's out of retirement. Let me tell you something. If I'm not mistaken, we're still paying Michael Gallup. If I can bring Michael Gallup back on the cheap, I at least want to see what he's doing. I'm serious. I got to see what he's doing. I got to see what he's doing. I at least got to let him come through. Hey, man, come through. I'll tell him at least come through for sure. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Sean M., because I heard him mention this. He said that he would love to play with his brother, and he might be willing to give San Francisco a deal to play with his brother. KC said Greenlaw, Allen, and Chase. Flip Turpin for that second and use it to trade for Metcalf on draft day and fill the rest of your roster. You know, and that's kind of what I was thinking with that second-round draft pick. Even if it's not, let's say, DK Metcalf. That second-round draft pick could be used as, hey, Cleveland, tell you what we'll do. You get that second round, that second round gives you the ability to play around with some trades. Gives you an opportunity for sure. I'm Awake said Pitts is soft. I would still like to kick the tires on it. I really would. Now, let me go through linebacker. Let's go through cornerback and safety here real quick. And then we'll get to this discussion about Kevontae Adams, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines. You guys can tell me about some of your free agent picks. Definitely would like to hear about that. Now, when we start talking about cornerback, the one that probably is at the top of most people's list is one Kavarius Ward. Carlton Davis is out there. You got Reed. You got Jonathan Jones. Let me bring this up on the screen. You got Byron Murphy. There are some options at cornerback too. And I definitely wouldn't discount some of the older ones. Of course, we got Stephon Gilmore. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say no on Stephon Gilmore. But I would probably bring him back for a cup of coffee again, see if he's going to come way down on that price. Got Mike Hilton. We got a couple of cornerbacks from Pittsburgh, Dante Jackson and C.J. Henderson. We got Tre'Davious White from the Baltimore Ravens. He's a 30-year-old cornerback, but still may be good. We got Michael Davis. We're going to sign Jordan Lewis, I'm sure, so we don't have to worry about Jordan Lewis being on the list. I'll be honest with you too. I would, if I were the Cowboys, I would seriously consider bringing in Asante Samuel Jr. I really would. I think you could get Asante Samuel. Asante Samuel Jr. was $1.8 million last year. Man, he would be a steal, I believe. Asante Samuel is only 25. Asante Samuel is only 25. I just love the pedigree with his father. He's got a lot of great fundamentals. Maybe with this particular crew, maybe they could do something with him. But that's kind of where I am as far as cornerbacks go. I don't have a long list of. I actually don't have a long list of cornerbacks. I really don't. But Asante Samuel will definitely be one that I would be looking at. Kavarius Ward would definitely be looking at him. But I think Kavarius Ward is going to be a big fish. I do. Stephon Gilmore, Gilly continues to play well at an older age. I would still consider him if you get him for the right price. Y'all tell me what you think about Carlton Davis and DJ Reed. But cornerback, again, the Cowboys can address cornerback in free agency, but I also think cornerback is another one of these positions they're going to have to address. They're going to have to address it in the draft too. They are. They're going to have to address it in the draft. There's no doubt about it. Troy Dudley, what's going on? Troy Dudley said nobody giving second round for Turpin. Going to have to trade back and pick up a third. Hey, Troy, I got my fingers crossed. I got my fingers crossed. I got my fingers crossed that there is some team that's saying, hey man, we'll take Turpin. I got my fingers crossed. I'm not mad if we keep him. I'm not mad if we keep him. Turpin is a beast. I'm not mad if we keep him. Oh, yeah, you're talking about his safety. Yeah. I think we have one of our safeties on the team for sure. And I think that safety is none other than Marquise Bell. We just got to keep Marquise Bell healthy. But I would definitely be looking at Marquise Bell. You said it's safety. I would definitely be looking at bringing Marquise Bell into the starting position. In the starting role. Yeah, definitely cut Dono. You said Tolanoa. Let me see here. Now, they don't have these people ranked. Okay, I see Tolanoa Hufanga. Yeah. Okay, San Francisco. Man, he would be a steal. I think he would be a steal. Cowboys should definitely consider, looking at him. Also, I got on my list as safety. I got Shiloh Sanders. I just got a feeling the Cowboys are going to bring in Shiloh Sanders. He may be an answer for us too. Marquise Bell, we definitely got to keep, at least in my estimation, we have to keep Marquise Bell. I think Marquise Bell should have started this year. That's just my thinking. Kind of looking on here again. And if they don't want to be on the lower end of the totem pole, for sure, I would say some of these guys like Marcus Epps. We'll see what kind of payday he gets. Rayshon Jenkins, an older safety. He's on here. Xavier Woods from Carolina is on here. So you're looking at some of the older players. But I think they're still going to be good. So you can kind of look there. What do y'all think about Quandre Diggs, Tennessee? DeMonte Kazi is on here. I wonder what he would look like in Dallas. But again, this is another one of those positions for sure. The Cowboys are probably going to address in the 5th round of the draft. They have got to get some safety help. I think the 2 safeties that they have, I would say if I was the Cowboys, I would literally just look at go ahead and cutting them. I would just go ahead and cut them. Jesse said, thank you, sir. You can get another kick returner. That pick for him and someone else scoop him up. Man, I'm telling you, I would love to get that doggone. I would love to get that 2nd round pick for him. I'm serious. I would love that 2nd round pick. Intelligence says, well, C.J. Henderson guy, but I don't know what kind of player he turned out to be since coming out for the Panthers a few years back. Yeah, they're going to have some. As far as the defense goes, the Cowboys are going to have some options here. But for me, if I'm the Cowboys, I would seriously be looking at Kavarius Ward. I really would. I would be either looking at Kavarius Ward or I'm bringing in Asante Samuel, because they could both be possibilities for taking the place of Trayvon Diggs. I have a funny feeling the Cowboys, unless Trayvon Diggs balls out, balls out, they're not going to bring him back. Angie said, gee, you don't want to bring back Rico. All right, let's move on up here. Since we talked about Devontae Adams, I've been seeing him in the chat. Angie brings up Rico. Let's move over to the offense, because the reality to me for the offense, I don't think there's any point in talking about the offensive line. I think there's a point, but the reason why I'm saying that is I don't think the Cowboys are going to move off their offensive line. I don't think they're going to move off their offensive line. And if there was anywhere the Cowboys should be looking, to me, it is left tackle, but they're not going to look at left tackle because they're saying they're going to give Tyler Guyton another opportunity. Well, I think the guy who the Cowboys are going to pick up in free agency, and I could be, for some reason, I just think that Hernandez is going to be picked up by the Cowboys. Because anytime you get these ex-players, you get these coaches that come to new teams, and they tell the current coaching staff about a player, that player, Will Hernandez, it's the perfect storm. Zach Martin retires. Will Hernandez is right there. He got association with the new offensive coordinator. Will Hernandez to me is a no-brainer. Will Hernandez made $4.5 million last year. Cowboys could probably bring him in for $4 million, $3.5 million. I got a feeling the Cowboys are going to pick him up. That's the only offensive line move I think the Cowboys are going to make. That's it. I don't think they make another one. I don't think they bring in no other left tackle, Cam Robinson, Ron Staley, Tyron. Of course, we know they're not bringing on Tyron Smith. I think he's going to retire. But they're not bringing in the left tackle, and I thought they might have kicked the tires on some left tackles, but I think they're going to let Tyler Guyton go ahead and be the left tackle. The only thing I can see them replacing is bringing in Will Hernandez, and let Brock Hoffman and him battle it out for the right guard position. Or Brock Hoffman is so versatile. Brock Hoffman, who knows? Maybe he moves over there and tries to challenge Terrence Steele at right tackle. Who knows? Brock Hoffman is one of the best signings we had this year for $1.1 million. It was so cheap, it's insanity. Coyote, what's going on? He said, I would like to keep Turpin. For what he's worth, for what he is worth value-wise to what he brings. He has the ability to put you in a game in one big play. I agree. He's a playmaker for sure. But the other side of me says I hope someone else sees that too, because I'm telling you, man, two number twos would be awesome. Man, Patrick Surtain, but no, we wouldn't have to draft another corner. Man, boy, I know. But if I'm not mistaken, they did want to draft Patrick Surtain. I thought they said that somebody jumped up in front of him and got him. But I do think somebody wanted them to get Surtain. Intelligent Savage, man, you're gonna be my go-to when we start talking about the draft. So you got to make sure you stay tuned in. Superstar, what's going on? He said we should take Ward, Greenlaw, and the safety you just mentioned, G. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. We got the safeties, there's not a lot of options. But again, I know we got to get Marquise Bell back. Marquise Bell, I think already is better than the ones we have. And then Marcus Epps, I think that I'm telling you, I got a strange feeling they're going to probably get Shiloh Sanders if he's there. I think Shiloh Sanders would be good for the Cowboys. Let him come in, develop on special teams, and then in a year or two, we bring him on up. Nisi, get out of town. What? Get out of town. Geno Smith traded to the Raiders? Wow. Breaking news by Nisi. Seahawks trading quarterback Geno Smith to the Raiders in exchange for the 2025 third-round pick. Wow. The Raiders are acquiring veteran signal caller Geno Smith in a trade with the Seattle Seahawks. NFL insider Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garofalo reported Friday. Las Vegas will send a 2025 third-round pick to Seattle in exchange for Smith, per the insiders. Wow. Pete Carroll loves him some Geno Smith. Loves him some Geno Smith. And I'm going to tell y'all something about Geno Smith coming out of Oregon. Let me tell you something. Those doggone New York Jets, they kind of threw Geno Smith to the wolves. But I always thought Geno Smith was better than what the New York Jets did him. And, man, you talking about somebody that jumped for joy when Geno Smith got a second opportunity. I jumped for joy. Man, they throw quarterbacks away. Man, they throw quarterbacks away in this league. And I'm talking good quarterbacks. They could be good, but because they might go to a team that's a bad team, maybe they bring them out of college too quick. Throw them right into the fire. And, man, think these guys pose. They say, hey, sink or swim. Man, I'm so glad. Hey, this also tells us something else, y'all. This also tells us something else, and we better get ready. And now I'm thinking what some people have been talking is absolutely true. So let's look back over here at the draft. Yep, and they've already changed it. Tankatron has already changed it. And this is what people had been talking about. They've already changed it. Ashton Jeanty is going to the Raiders. I 100% believe it. Ashton Jeanty is going to the Raiders. And they've also changed the Cowboys to getting Kevin Banks Jr. See, we're already seeing the ripple effect of things that are going to free agency. There's probably going to be another ripple effect. There will be some changes in this draft order that we're seeing. Because once someone says, I'm getting this player, then who they got goes back on the board, and then there's a ripple effect. Now, I'll tell you this. If I'm Ted McMillan, I'm praying that I don't go to the Jets. I'm sorry, man. I'm telling you, if I'm Ted McMillan, I'm praying I don't go to the Jets. But now they have Ted McMillan going to the Jets. We're going to see because they're saying that he may be available for the Cowboys. But they're saying that the Cowboys are going to take Kelvin Banks Jr. But once I saw the Geno Smith, so now I got my quarterback. Now I want my running back, Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty. Yep. Good pickup for the Raiders. I thought the Raiders would probably try to trade up and get Shedeur Sanders. But I think one of the things that wound up happening, a lot of people have been complaining about Shedeur Sanders. A lot of people said they didn't like Shedeur Sanders. Said they didn't like Shedeur Sanders' combine quotes and his interviews and stuff like that. And I don't understand. These people got to understand, man. They're talking to kids, talking to young men. I mean, and I don't blame guys when they're confident in their ability. I mean, it's your ability. I mean, if you are that good, and you know you're that good because of hard work and the proof is in the stats, the proof is on the tape. Well, why am I going to come in here and say, I mean, yeah, I think I'm the best quarterback in the combine, the best quarterback in the draft. Yeah, I should go number one. Yes, I am going to change any franchise I go on to because I don't see none of the stuff wrong with what he was saying. Now, I know some people were probably looking at them chains he had on the board. Them chains probably cost some people's entire lifetime salary. Here's what it is, though. I ain't mad at him. He earned the money to get it. He can pay for it. Sometimes people be tripping on some of this dumb stuff. No. Shedeur Sanders, I thought they were going to probably try to get Shedeur. So who knows what changed in all of those instances. But now they have Geno Smith. Ashton Jeanty is going to be the pick. Or at least that's what the assumption is. And now the Cowboys will get them another offensive tackle. That looks like what that is. Intelligent Savage. You and some others who follow college football, y'all tell me what's up with Kelvin Banks Jr. I've already told y'all I don't watch college football like that. I'm probably going to start watching it this year. I see 6'5", 315 pounds. But now they got him going to the Dallas Cowboys. What are y'all thoughts on one Kelvin Banks Jr. that they're saying now going to the Dallas Cowboys? So I wonder if you draft him, does that mean that he is going to be your right guard? Even though I see the position here, let me make sure I got this right. Okay, I want to make sure I got this right on Kelvin Banks Jr. Y'all tell me what's up on Kelvin Banks Jr. because some of y'all watch college football like crazy. Let me move down to the bottom. Y'all tell me what's on Kelvin Banks Jr. Nisi, dead on with Shedeur Sanders. Dead on. Dead on with Shedeur Sanders. He's his father's son. Flashy. That's what I expect from Sanders. Me too. Hey, Nisi, you remember Deion? When Deion was showing up, man, people do not understand how ahead of his time Deion was. Man, Deion came up in there with that Jerry curl, man, them dope glasses, chains all around his neck. Shedeur is mild compared to his dad, if you ask me. Shedeur is mild compared to Deion. Shedeur Sanders, to me, comes off, he comes off as a little bit cocky, but a lot of these young guys do these days. Comes off to me, though, overall as a really good kid. I have no problem with Shedeur Sanders. So he comes off as a real good kid. Superstar said, remember, yep, I'm telling you, boy, at that drip hole back in 89, it was right. It was only right that he had it on as well. Man, I'm telling you, boy, I remember it, man. Yes, sir. He's bigger and more aggressive runner, in my opinion. I would be upset if Genty fell to Dallas, though. Yeah, it looked like he's not going to fall to Dallas, and I think they knew it. Hampton can run through a wall. The Cowboys may think they can get not a better running back, but I think the Cowboys think they can get a running back if they go back. Lost in translation, what's going on? Now, again, my question becomes about this Kelvin Banks Jr. guy. Let me get down here again. Big C, what's going on? Big C from Tennessee. What's going on with you? My son's in your area. They went on vacation. They're in your area today. They over in Tennessee. Damon said, ice cold Cowboy. That's what I said. Trade back in the first round. Yeah. But, again, hold on. What about this Kelvin Banks Jr. guy? Is he one of these guys that you don't want to miss? Don't know the best. Yes, sir. Hey, man, Deion killed it. Yes, sir. That Jerry curl juice was everywhere, boy. Man, I still miss my curl, boy. I can't grow enough to get a curl now. Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if they trade back for sure. Wow. So you think Kelvin Banks Jr. is a 4th or 5th rounder? I'm awake. Then if that's the case, they will. I will not be surprised. The Cowboys won't be getting Kelvin Banks Jr. The Cowboys are probably going to trade back. They will probably trade back if this is the case. Yep, Todd Church, Cowboys got to trade back. I will not be surprised they trade back. For sure. Alex Tyson, he said, I don't think Shedeur is as good as what he's hyped up to be. Stats were misleading. Well, I'll say this. If they put a team around him, he'll be fine. But they're going to have to put a team around him. I mean, Warren Sapp even said this. Warren Sapp said it point blank. He said Shedeur is going to be a good quarterback. Warren Sapp said, but they got to put players around him. And that's my concern because I don't think people understand the kind of weapons Shedeur Sanders had around him in college. Man, Shedeur Sanders had weapons around him, man. That dude had weapons at the skill positions. Superstar, oh, man, yes. 1,000% agree. No more offensive linemen in the first round. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. No more. I'm with you, too. I'm with you. I really think the Cowboys think they have their line, though. Ty Church said, I'm trading back with the Seahawks for pick 18. For pick 18, they're second and they're fourth. Oh, y'all like that, too. I like that. I like that for sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big C from Tennessee. They talking about going hiking or something up in there. And I told them, I said, y'all need to get on Y'all need to get somewhere and have you some fun too. But yeah, they're in the area. Sean M said trade back with the Broncos. I'll trade back and pick Golden or Hampton. Yeah, I'm kind of I would trade back and get I like a Mecca Ibuka, but he might be off the board if you trade back too far. I would love to get him. Ty Church said he would feel better if we got Banks at 18 rather than at 12. And again, I'm assuming that if they were to get Kelvin Banks Jr., he's going to be the guard. Yep, okay, don't know the best said he's a good guard, so that's where he'll be. They'll probably bring him in and see if he can probably start day one. Man, Bama boy said that curl for one day, man, not me. Messing up all kinds of shirts and jackets. Boy, I had that curl swinging. You remember when we had them long at the back? Lonnie Cabal, we should get Shador at 12. He ain't going to be there at 12. But the Cowboys have already signed Dak Prescott, too. The Shador Sanders thing would be a waste of a draft pick. They're going to probably get Miles back on the back end. G, would you take Harold Landry? What are we talking here? In the first round? Hold on. Let me make sure. I'm not very familiar with Harold Landry from the Tennessee Titans. Man, people have been smashing on this Landry. This Harold Landry guy, man, from the Tennessee Titans, man, Big C, man, people have been smashing on him. You tell me what you think about him. He in your area, Tennessee Titans. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about him. Banks Jr., physical lineman. I think the Cowboys will see him as a versatile, about to kick him inside or on the edge, but no higher than a third for me at best. Well, the Banks Jr. sounded like they said, I thought they said he was a old lineman on this Kevin Banks Jr. guy. All right, so we'll get back to that in a moment. Thank you for that news, Nisi. Appreciate you. Now let's talk about this whole thing. First, let's address what Angie the Rebel Chicks asked. Running back for the Dallas Cowboys. This draft is too rich with running backs. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not bringing back Rico Dowdle. Now, if I'm Rico Dowdle, I'm actually not coming back to the Cowboys. Rico Dowdle needs to understand something about this league. He is not Saquon Barkley. He is not Saquon Barkley. When you get your opportunity to get your payday, you better do it. Rico Dowdle better test free agency. He's going to know everything he needs to know next week. Rico Dowdle needs to test free agency. I'm still hearing, I shouldn't say I'm still hearing, but there was a word out at once upon a time that the Denver Broncos might be looking at Rico Dowdle. If I'm Rico Dowdle, I'm testing free agency. Unless the Cowboys are going to offer me ludicrous money. If the Cowboys are going to offer Rico Dowdle something like 4 years, $20 million, $16 million guaranteed, Rico Dowdle probably signs back with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think they're going to be offering him that. And please don't let what my man Mills said about Najee Harris be true. No. To me, they're both one and the same. Najee Harris could be a step above, give or take, but that's not saying enough for me. The draft is too rich with running backs to even think about that kind of money on Najee Harris or Rico Dowdle. Now, what I would do, there are a couple of running backs that I would consider bringing in. There are a couple of running backs that I would consider, and not a couple, there's three. There are three running backs that I would consider bringing in as a veteran presence on this team. And the one thing that I'm absolutely laughing at is that this running back, Mike McCarthy wanted him last year and Jerry refused. And now word on the street is the Cowboys are looking at one Aaron Jones. If this would not be a slap in the face to Mike McCarthy. They are saying the Cowboys are looking at Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, of which I'm not mad at. Aaron Jones. If I'm the Cowboys, I would see what his price. $7 million is too much. But I would bring him in for an interview and kind of see what's going on with him. I'm not touching Najee Harris. He's a young running back. Maybe some other team might be looking at him for maybe a 3-year deal. I don't want to bring him in. A.J. Dillon, if he's healthy, he's a big bruising back. A.J. Dillon, you might be able to get A.J. Dillon for $2 million. I would bring A.J. Dillon in. A.J. Dillon, to me, would be a very good veteran back to have with the 2 rookie backs that I hope the Dallas Cowboys go get in this draft. I want the Cowboys to double up Shouty. I want them to go get 2 running backs. One in the first or the second, another one in the 5th. And to go along with that, to kind of have my room, and I know people keep asking about Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn, I just don't think he fits into the Cowboys scheme. I would probably trade Deuce Vaughn or cut him all together. I would not mind bringing in A.J. Dillon. He's below $3 million. You could probably get him for $2 million. I would definitely consider bringing in Nick Chubb. I know he's had some injuries. One of those was kind of a freak injury, but he's still got some explosiveness. I would bring in A.J. Dillon or Nick Chubb. Let them be the veteran backs in the locker room. Some people like J.K. Dobbins. He got a little something too. J.K. Dobbins. But for me, I'm looking at these 2 in particular, older, veteran presence. I think they'd have a lot to show the young guys. So for me, my pick, Nick Chubb, A.J. Dillon. Those are the 2 backs I would bring in. Not bringing back Rico Dowdle. Wouldn't touch Najee Harris with a 10-foot pole. That's not a knock on Najee Harris, but to me, he's a little bit better than Rico Dowdle, and the Cowboys need an absolute explosive running back. Get those in the draft. If I want a big bruising running back, A.J. Dillon. I'd bring in A.J. Dillon. I would. He's only 26 years old, A.J. Dillon. If he can stay healthy, let's bring him in, see what he got. Nick Chubb, definitely bring him in. Definitely bring him in. I think Nick Chubb would be fine in a rotation. I think it would be absolutely fine in a rotation. Y'all tell me what you think of running back. Now, let's go to wide receiver for a moment. This is a hot topic. This is an absolute hot topic for many. And I'm going to tell you something phenomenal about the wide receiver thing. The wide receiver thing is a phenomenal topic from this perspective. All of what we would call the good wide receivers, most of them are 30 and older. Most of them are 30 and older. Devontae Adams, 32. Stephon Diggs, 31. Keenan Allen, 32, about to be 33. Amari Cooper, 30 years old. Chris Godwin, 29. Brandon Cooks, 31. Tyler Lockett, 32.4. DeAndre Hopkins, 32.8. The really good wide receivers are older. They're all older. So the question becomes, what do you do in the case of these older wide receivers? I do think that if you get one of these older wide receivers, they do not negate you going into the draft and get you a wide receiver. If the Cowboys were planning on getting a wide receiver in the first round, still get a wide receiver in the first round, because none of these wide receivers deter me from thinking that. And Cooper Kupp's not even on the list yet, and Cooper Kupp's on here, or will be on here. But again, when we start talking about these wide receivers, it's a very hot topic. Now, let me give you a simple breakdown of these older wide receivers. For me, everyone else does their thing how they do it. For me, I don't need a breakdown of these receivers in particular. I don't need a breakdown. Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, even Chris Godwin. They got Brandon Cooks on here. Of course, we're not bringing him back. And in particular, Tyler Lockett. I don't need a breakdown of those receivers. It's good to look at, but I don't need a breakdown of those receivers. And the reason why I don't need a breakdown of those receivers is because I've seen these receivers year after year after year after year after year. And all of these receivers are good. All of them are good. Some are better than others, but they are all good. The question you have to ask yourself on these receivers, and I even think these receivers have to ask themselves this question. These receivers in particular, in this 30-year-old range, they really have to answer the question for themselves. Do I go for the money or do I go for the chip? Because if I'm going for the money, then I'm going to go to the team that's going to be able to offer me the most money. If I'm going for the chip, I may leave some money on the table because I see that this team is one step away from the Super Bowl. If I'm the team that's going to pick these wide receivers, I break this down into 3 different teams. There's the team that's on a total rebuild. I want all young guys, so I'm probably not looking at none of these old guys. Then I'm the second tier team. I'm the team that's right there on the cusp of this wide receiver is going to change absolute life for us and is going to really make us a contender. And I have yet to pay a wide receiver $30 million. I don't have a $30 million receiver. I'm looking for a $30 million receiver. Maybe I want to get close to $30 million. Or I have a number 1 receiver. Maybe we got him on a rookie deal, Arizona Cardinals. Maybe we got a number 1 receiver, but he's on a $15, $20 million deal. I'm looking at these older receivers because I already know these older receivers, they're going to require money to bring them in. And then there's the third tier. We're 1 player away for sure from the Super Bowl. We got our team built. Now we need a player that literally takes us over the top. I'm willing to pay $20+ million for one of these guys for maybe 2 years. Maybe I bring you in on a 3-year, $50 million deal, $45 million guaranteed. Maybe I bring you in on a 3-year, $60 million deal, $50 million guaranteed, $45 million guaranteed. I bring these guys in. So the question is, where do the Cowboys fit? The Cowboys in a situation of, they're not on that bottom part. They're not at the top part. They're somewhere in that middle part. To where if they get one of these wide receivers, it is immediately going to make us a contender this year. Because we can't just do it for 1 year. Because one of these wide receivers are not taking the Cowboys to the Super Bowl in 1 year. They won't even, unless we're a year early. And the Cowboys, in order for us to be a year early, let me explain to you what we have to do. We have to absolutely hit on everything we do in free agency. I'm not talking about do good. No, we have to hit. Every free agent we get has to hit, come in, contribute, upgrade. I mean, we have to hit. Number 2, the draft. We have to knock it out the park. We have to knock it out the park in the draft. That every player we draft, they come in, they add depth, they contribute in one way or another. I mean, we knock it out the park in the draft. That when we look up after the draft, we go, wow, we have almost a super team. Let's risk spending $25 million on a wide receiver. Let's risk it. Now, the only one of these wide receivers that I would even fathom $20 million or above is Devontae Adams. He's the only one I even fathom. He's the only one I even fathom at $20 million. Now, for me, y'all tell me what you think. All this chitter chatter about one Davante Adams. Davante Adams is way too rich. I think unless Davante Adams is about to come down off of a price. Davante Adams made $28 million last year, in case anybody, I'm not sure if that's exactly what he made last year, but I think that's what that is. Davante Adams sees himself, I'm sure, as a $30 million wide receiver. I think he knows at this point no one's going to give him $30 million. But does he still see himself as a $28 million or a $25 million receiver? Does Davante Adams still see himself as a $20 million receiver? Now, if I'm Davante Adams, what team am I willing to play for $20 million? Are the Cowboys even a team he would consider playing for $25 million? I really don't know. But with Davante Adams, it's cool. I really don't need a breakdown for Davante Adams. The thing about Davante Adams is, what's the price? That's the only discussion you need to have with Davante Adams. What's your price? I think everybody knows that Davante Adams is still a good to great wide receiver. What's your price? Because for me, and again, we have to understand some answers are subjective. And there is no, really, in the grand scheme of things, whether we understand this or not, there is no objective answer on Davante Adams. From this perspective, there is no objective answer on should someone get him. There's no objective answer. Now, if we're talking about from pure talent, the objective answer is, who wouldn't want him? No stuff, Sherlock. Who wouldn't want Davante Adams? If you asked 32 teams, if there was no money question, hey, would you want Davante Adams? Yes. Who wouldn't want Davante Adams? There are receivers on this list. Even if you, and we're asking the same question. There are receivers on this list that you could literally ask me, even if money wasn't the question. Hey, would you take these receivers? No. No. I don't care if the money wasn't the issue. No. Davante Adams is the receiver on the list. This is the list. Davante Adams is on the list of a receiver that if all things are the same, no money is the question. Yes, I want Davante Adams. That's not the question we're asking with Davante Adams. Please, can we understand this? I'm just telling us this. We make this into it's not complicated. With Davante Adams, ability is not a question for the Cowboys. I promise you. Even I said I'm a little shaky on the last couple of years with Davante Adams, but we'll give it. It's understandable to give Davante Adams a pass because we know the teams he was playing with. It has been a nightmare almost for Davante Adams, and I feel so. And I don't know if you can feel sorry for millionaires, but I'll say this. When you see a talent like Davante Adams, he leaves the Green Bay Packers to go to the Raiders, and they thought that for sure that they were going to they literally thought they were going to tear it up over there. He did pretty good, but it just didn't work out the way that they wanted it to. It just didn't work out the way they wanted to. And so, the last couple of years hadn't been quite good for Davante Adams. But Davante Adams is one of those talents that even at 32, Davante Adams is still really potent. And at the end of the day with Davante Adams, I'm telling us this is not a discussion of this man's ability. I don't even understand that part of the discussion with anybody. Davante Adams what are we discussing? This man's ability it's been great. It's not the question. It's what is he willing to pay for? I mean, what is he willing to play for? What is he willing to play for? Because that becomes the subjective answer. What is he willing to play for, and what am I willing to pay? We need to understand the difference between objectivity and subjectivity. Objectivity is based on pure facts. It's definitive. We can't argue it. Is Davante Adams good? Yes. Is he great? Yes. Subjective. What will he play for? I'm only willing to pay him 25. I'm only willing to pay him 20. I'm only willing to pay him 15. That's the subjective part of the answer. And again, no one is wrong for those answers. We try to diminish each other on some of the silliest stuff. Let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it real. Davante Adams, it's not about his ability. Davante Adams is about what will he pay? What will he play for? And as Dallas Cowboy fans, this is a subjective question for all of us. It's a subjective question. What would you be willing to pay for Davante Adams? Because that's the only thing the Cowboys are discussing. Hey, Davante Adams would be great on this team. Somebody is sitting at that table saying, well, last year he played for $28 million. Or his agent is saying that Davante wants to play for $27 million. Davante Adams actually wants a 3-year deal worth $75 million. Maybe Davante wants a 4-year deal worth, and let me set the deal like this. What if Davante Adams wants a 4-year, $100 million deal, $75 million guaranteed? Y'all remember what I told you? Learned this from Shannon Sharp. We look at all the value of these deals. Man, throw that junk in the trash. The only thing you need to be looking at is the guaranteed money. And if I was a player doing deals, I would tell my agent, hey, man, all I'm focused on is the guaranteed money. What did I tell y'all last night? I don't like calculus. I don't like algebra. I'm a simple man. Give me addition, subtraction, division. I'm a simple man. Multiplication. You give me those 4 things. What is my fully guaranteed money? If I was a player, I'd always be focused on my fully guaranteed money. That's the money I get come hell or high water. The money I get whether I'm injured or not, roster bonuses, I don't want to deal with it. None of that junk. Incentives, I don't want to be playing the last 2 games of a meaningless season. We're 2 and 13. There's 2 games to go. Hey man, you want to get your $1 million bonus? You're only 3 touchdowns. I don't want to deal with that mess. I don't want to deal with another 300 yards in the last 2 games of a meaningless season. I'm not saying I'm not going to play, but I don't want to go out there and have in my mind, it's a sad testimony if I'm only on the field thinking about the money I'm going to get for getting 3 touchdowns. No. All I want to focus on is winning. I don't want all that kooky math. Give me the fully guaranteed money. So the question becomes, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, what are you willing to pay for Davante Adams? That's all we need to ask. What are we willing to pay for Davante Adams to play for the Cowboys? That's all we need to understand. Appreciate you. I'm awake. I'm telling you. Yes, sir. I'm telling you. We got to do something. But again, We got to do something that makes sense. And as a team, what you have to decide, what makes sense for you? What makes sense for you? What makes sense? Angie Rebel Chicks, yes, we need Hot Pockets ready to go. Yes. And I'm telling us, when we start talking about these players like Davante Adams, man, we got a hit. You don't bring in Davante Adams as a 3-year project. You do not. I mean, I'm not bringing in Davante Adams as a 3-year project. Man, I'm bringing in Davante Adams. I'm talking about winning right now. I'm talking about winning right now. And don't get me wrong. Davante Adams, on top of, and this is the issue, Davante Adams by himself is not the piece that takes the Cowboys over the top if they miss everywhere else. Davante Adams is definitely the piece that might take you over the top if you hit everywhere else. With the Cowboys, they can't just focus on hitting on Davante Adams. Y'all think about what the Eagles did last year. The Eagles, their whole focus, they hit in some places. Man, a lot of people don't even realize Philly didn't even hit everywhere. They didn't even hit everywhere. But their team was so good. The team was already so good. They could afford to have guys that they picked up in free agency that didn't hit. They didn't even play. But Saquon Barkley, because the team was so bleeping good, he took them over the top. Saquon Barkley took the Eagles over the top. The Baltimore Ravens, they thought Derrick Henry. They thought Derrick Henry because they thought they had it together in every other position. They said, we're ready. Derrick Henry takes us over the top. Problem is, they didn't anticipate a few injuries of their own. I'm just saying, with Davante Adams, he's got to make a decision on how he wants to do. Does he want to go on a team that's rebuilding? What if there's a team down on the lower echelon and they say, hey, we just want to rebuild. We want to get back to the playoffs. Is that what he wants? Because if Davante Adams wants that, he's going for the most money. But if there's a team who says, Davante Adams, you take us to the Super Bowl. Hey, Kansas City. Hey, man, Davante. We've been lacking at wide receiver ever since we let go of Tyreek Hill. Davante Adams. We got a feeling if we bring you back in, if we bring you in 3 seasons, we hit the jackpot in one of those. The Chiefs probably think if they got Davante Adams, they would be back in the Super Bowl this season. But again, with Davante Adams, you're not having questions of ability. Davante Adams' questions is, and it's not questions, the question is, how much is he going to cost us? How much does he cost us? How much does he cost us along with everything else we plan on doing? That's the question. Because that's the same issue we have with DK Metcalf. I don't think the Cowboys would have a problem giving up a first-round draft pick for DK Metcalf. I don't. I think what the Cowboys would have a problem with DK Metcalf is paying him also $30 million a year. Because they can't pay him and CeeDee Lamb $30+ million. You can't do it. And if you ask me, our quarterback, and this is going to be controversial for some of y'all, but it is what it is. Our quarterback is good enough. He just needs a complimentary wide receiver to CeeDee Lamb. That's all he needs. Dak just needs another complimentary receiver. It's all he needs. Dak doesn't need the top wide receiver in free agency. He would probably love the top wide receiver in free agency. I would love to have the top wide receiver in free agency. But again, Dak don't need that only. I would dare say Dak Prescott needs more than anything is, no, Davante Adams, great, but he needs a complimentary wide receiver to CeeDee Lamb. And what Dak Prescott needs desperately more than Davante Adams is he needs a bona fide run game. Dak needs a bona fide run game. That's what Dak Prescott needs. Dak Prescott needs a bona fide run game. We give Dak Prescott a bona fide run game. Dak looks different. Not only if you give him a bona fide run game, your draft position says, and we can go in the draft, and we can get a good who's going to be great wide receiver in his own right in the next 2 seasons, if not by midseason. Boy, he'll be on point. He'll be on point. Not to mention, we still got to give Jonathan Mingo a look with Dak Prescott. I'm interested to see what Ryan Flanoy is in his second year. Not that we don't want Davante Adams, but again, the question is, at what cost? It's that simple. It's that simple. At what cost? It's not complicated. At what cost? At what cost are you willing to get Davante Adams? At what cost? I appreciate you, D-Hawks. He said, I'm sure where my other post, he says, I'll say this, you're one on a few dudes podcast I absolutely love because you talk facts with confidence and integrity, so keep up the good work, my brother. Bro, I appreciate you, my brother. Don't know, be the beast. I would like Keenan Allen for 10 to 12 million. Now, let's move on to Keenan Allen. There's been a lot of discussion about Keenan Allen. I like Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, throughout his history, there have been some injury concerns. Keenan Allen is still a very good wide receiver at 32, about to be 33. Last year, he got $22.5 million. Again, Keenan Allen, just in my own mind, I've always liked Keenan Allen. I don't have to do a lot of thinking on Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen name comes to mind and I go, yes, Keenan Allen is a great wide receiver. But then, let's look at what you said here. Here becomes the subjective part of the answer. And you nor anyone else don't know be the best. You can't be knocked for the answer you just gave. Because the question becomes with Keenan Allen. Well, how much is he willing to play for? We're not questioning his ability. Now, with Keenan Allen, I do have something in my mind I don't have with Davante Adams. His availability. His availability. So with Keenan Allen, I'm figuring that in. Even though he was healthy the last couple of seasons, I'm still, okay, hold on a second. Availability with Keenan Allen. Number 2, what is he willing to play for? Play for. So, don't know the best. You just gave your answer. I would like Keenan Allen. Here's the subjective part of the answer. $10 to $12 million. So don't know be the best. You just gave me an answer. You're not willing to pay him $20 million. I wouldn't want to pay Keenan Allen $20 million. I just think that's rich for the Cowboys' blood with everything else they have to do. Now, if this team was already complete, understand, you walk into free agency and go, nah, man. Nah, we're going to go in and get us a big fish. And if we want Davante Adams, we're going to get Davante Adams at $28 million. If we want DK Metcalf, we're getting DK Metcalf at $30 million. Why? Because everything else has already come together. But because you're the Cowboys and you need, what have we discussed tonight? This is why I did it the way I did it. I'm not starting at wide receiver. We don't need another Cowboys team high octane, outscore everybody, but can't stop anybody either. We don't need that team again. We've been there, we've done that, we saw that team, it don't work. What we haven't seen, whether we accept it or not, what we have yet to see with the Dallas Cowboys under the Dak Prescott regime, and even under the Tony Romo regime, we have never seen this. A defense that when we go into the game, everyone says it's over. Because of the offense? No, the defense. What are you talking about? Because no one can score 13 points on us barely. No one scores 20 points on us. We hold every team 17 and below. And if a team gets 21, it's an anomaly. That's what we're looking for. The Dallas Cowboys need to show enough defense. Man, I would love to have Devontae Adams. I would take DK Metcalf over all of them, but I would love to have Devontae Adams. I would love to have Keenan Allen. I would love for the Cowboys to bring back Amari Cooper. I would love for the Cowboys to bring in some of these types of guys. But my concern, how much are they willing to play for? Because where my thought process is, nah, man, we need a doggone defense that won't quit and won't give up points. Y'all remember what Matt Eberflus said? What do you want to do on defense? We want to stop the run. We want to take the ball away, and we want to make big plays for this team. Well, you don't do that unless you go in this free agency, and you better make your mark right there. Because you don't make your mark on defense in the draft. You make your mark on offense in the draft. You make your mark on defense in free agency. That's where you go get those players. That's where you go get those players. You're not getting them in the draft, I promise you. You're not getting those in the draft because they're far and in between. The unicorns in the draft are far and in between, and you better be in the top 10. We're right there on the outside. We're going to get us probably a hybrid between a unicorn and a horse. But you're not getting those unicorns unless you're in the top 5, top 10 at the least. You're not building a defense in the draft. You build a defense in free agency. The Cowboys need to go in this doggone free agency, and they need to be thinking about, because if the only thing I need is a wide receiver, then Devontae Adams, here I come. But if I need to build a defense, I got to look at what I'm going to do at defensive tackle, because I know Mozzie Smith and also Diggy is not going to be enough by themselves. I got to look at my man, Micah Parsons. I'm getting ready to pay him. But when am I finally going to say, Micah Parsons, I'm going to give you another bona fide edge rusher to go on the other side? When do I finally say I got to go to the linebacker spot, and I can't keep hoping that Sam Williams is going to come back? I can't keep hoping that Marion Overshawn is going to be healthy. No, I got to go in this free agency, and I got to go get me some linebackers, and they are ready, and they're ready now. I can't go in this free agency talking about, hey, man, Trayvon Diggs, he's on the comeback trail, man. His rehab is looking good. I got to go in this free agency like Trayvon Diggs is never coming back. I got to go in this free agency and say, you know what? Hey, man, we're going to have to just admit it. Our safeties were trash for 14 games of the season. They were trash for 12 games of the season. We got to fix this defense. We've seen the high-octane offenses. We know what our quarterback is. We know what our wide receiver is. And in actuality, the Dallas Cowboys, the easiest part of this team to fix, whether anyone realizes it or not or admits it, it's the offense. It's easy. Any one of us right now in this chat could fix the Dallas Cowboys offense. Any last one of us. If they gave us carte blanche, we already know what this team needs. Okay, give us a running game. We would go right in this draft, and many of us, if you gave us the opportunity, who don't know who we're getting? We're gonna get Ashton Jeanty. We're gonna get Amarion Hampton. We're gonna get Henderson. We're gonna get. Who we know who we're going to get. We absolutely know in this draft, even if we don't get Gentry, we're okay. Okay. Even if we don't get Hampton, we're okay. We got an opportunity in this draft, even if we don't get Ted McMillan, even if we don't get Emeka Ibuka, man, we still got opportunities to get show enough fire wide receivers in this draft. They're right there. We are drafting number 12 in the first 3 rounds. Our offense is easy to fix. O-line, we need to figure out what it is. I believe they think they have their O-line. I would roll up in free agency. I'd get Hernandez at a very good price, and my offensive line with the players I have right now, I'm rolling with it. If I said I'm rolling with it, if I think Guyton's going to be better, I got Brock Hoffman, I know he's multifaceted, I'm rolling with it. I got guys coming off injury, I'm rolling with it. But if you think about our offensive line, how many pieces? Maybe 1, 2 tops. So we bring in Hernandez. Maybe we bring in someone else as an insurance policy. That will be able to be done in free agency very cheap. But as it pertains to that wide receiver spot, with all of those things need to be done, can you fit in Devontae Adams? It's not an objective question. The objective question, we don't even need to ask it. Is Devontae Adams good enough? Yeah. Yeah. Would you want him? Money not the issue? Yeah. How much are you willing to play? How much are you willing to pay him? Okay, hold on. Let's talk. Let's talk. Because I can't just bring him in saying what I'm going to pay him, because I got to figure in what I'm going to pay everyone else. It's that simple. And some of these things, we try to make them so definitive. You can't make it definitive if it hasn't happened. Where we can stay objective are the facts. Devontae Adams is good, fact. Keenan Allen good, fact. Amari Cooper good, fact. What are they willing to play for? Don't know. What are they willing to play for? Don't know. Will he play for $20 million? Don't know. Will he play for 15? Don't know. Those are the subjective part of the answers that we have to ask. What are we willing to pay? Let me read some of your comments. I'm very interested to read them. True story. Adams wants to play on the West Coast. There's another consideration. See, that right there, subjectivity. Objectivity from the standpoint of Adams. Now it becomes the question, okay, you said he wants to play on the West Coast. So that means then if an East Coast team want him, okay, well, will he play on the East Coast? And if he will play on the East Coast, how much will he play for? I'm telling us. Michael Gallup, I will not be surprised he shows up in the Dallas training camp. What do you think about Keenan Allen or Mike Williams? Again, Keenan Allen is another one. You got to ask yourself the question: how much is he willing to play? How much is he willing to play for? Mike Williams, on the other hand, Mike Williams is 30 years of age. Mike Williams last year got paid $10 million. Okay, Mike, what are you willing to pay for? I mean, what are you willing to play for? What are you willing to play for? That's the question that every team has to ask themselves. What am I willing to pay this player to play for me? See, a lot of these questions we ask, we're not asking, can they still play? What are they willing to play for? That's what I have to figure out. If you don't know these older players, well, I don't know where you've been. These older players, I mean, it's crazy when you look at the top wide receivers. They're pretty much 30 and above. The resumes are speaking for themselves. DeAndre Hopkins is 32, about to be 33 years old. Most people will tell you DeAndre Hopkins is still a very good receiver. The issue is, what are they willing to pay him? A lot of people are telling you they're not paying DeAndre Hopkins $13 million or $10 million, $8 million. They're telling you, DeAndre Hopkins is still good, but he's 32, about to be 33. We're not paying a wide receiver that old that much money, even if his tape does say he's good. They're saying these things because I got to weigh this out. Okay, hold on a second. Am I willing to pay, let's say Keenan Allen, 32, about to be 33. Would I rather pay Keenan Allen 2 years, $30 million, 2 years, $24 million guaranteed, or would I rather go in the draft and get one of these wide receivers that ran a sub 4.40, and I can get one of them 4 years for $16 million, and about year number 2, they'll take off? You have to ask yourself these questions. We think things are just as simple as, and this is even the crazy thing about free agency. Too many people think free agency is just about saying, yeah, I want somebody. Let me go get him. It don't work like that. Don't work like that. Nisi said, can't bring in Devontae Adams and not play him like we did Dalvin. Exactly. And don't get me wrong, it's not like you don't want to have some of these problems, but understand this. Wide receivers are divas. They want the ball. It takes an adjustment for them to be on a team and go from being the primary target to the secondary target. And if you're going to be on a very run-strong team, well, how many targets do you get? How many targets? You bring in Devontae Adams, man, you're saying something. I'm not bringing this dude in just to block. I'm bringing this dude in. I'm bringing this dude in because I plan on throwing him the ball 15 times a game. So you got CeeDee Lamb. You got Devontae Adams. I'm not saying you don't want these problems. CeeDee Lamb is going to have to then get used to also to getting what? 12, 15 catches per game? What does CeeDee Lamb go down to? What does he go down to if you bring in Devontae Adams? I'm just telling you, the Cowboys are going to be a very run-strong team. I believe that Dak Prescott is going to be relegated to somewhere around 25, and that's why I've been saying that's the magic number for a championship quarterback. 25 throws per game is the magic number. I want to be somewhere around there. So if Dak Prescott is going to throw the ball, and let's say you got 25, so let's give you 30. You got 4 wide receivers. How much do you split that 30 up? I'm just asking us questions that we should be asking because we think it's not just about, we got to understand something. This isn't Christmas. It isn't just about, I want a player, let me go get him. It's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. It's about, does this player fit into what we're trying to do? And how will he fit in? How does he fit in? And I'm telling you, when you think about this, and man, surely this offense will be better this year. But this was the Cowboys offense, 2024. I want you to think about how crazy this was. CeeDee Lamb, 5 targets. Well, I'm sorry, look, 10 targets, 7 targets, 7 targets, 8 targets, 9 targets, 14 targets, 17 targets, 12 targets, 10 targets, 12 targets, 12. So when you think about these targets for CeeDee Lamb, what happens when you bring on one Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams? What happens when you bring on those type of receivers? I'm just asking you. You got to talk about these questions if you're talking about bringing in these types of wide receivers. You can't spend. I'm telling you, you can't spend $20+ million on the second receiver, only throwing it to him 5 times a game. These numbers for CeeDee Lamb, I mean, even these targets are pretty low considering, all things considered, with CeeDee Lamb. These targets are very low. This is not even what you're looking for CeeDee Lamb. So just imagine when you bring in a ball-dominant wide receiver like Davante Adams, you bring in and I don't know if Keenan Allen in his career, at this point in his career, is necessarily ball-dominant. But you got to think about these things. Let me just show you something real quick. You got. I'm telling us, sometimes we're talking about stuff, and it's just not this complicated. When you're talking about these types of wide receivers, it's not, when you're talking about these guys, man, we know what they are. Man, we doggone know what they are. We know what they are. And so again, I want to compare this to one Justin Jefferson. So it kind of looks like, I guess, in the realm of the targets, those targets are not unusual when you think about that for these wide receivers. Because even when you look at Justin Jefferson, so somewhere around here, he's getting around the same amount of targets. 14, 8, 9, 9, 8, 5, 9, 7, 14, 13, 11, 9. Okay, so again, so if you're giving this many to a CeeDee Lamb, you're giving this many to a Justin Jefferson, so are they the only 2 receivers you throw to? Are they the only 2 you throw to? Because I'm telling you, once you get a receiver like a Davante Adams, so if Dak has 25 throws, 10 targets to is it 10 to Davante Adams and 10 to CD and 5 to everyone else? I mean, what is it? I mean, you have to weigh out all of this stuff. How much are we going to get for our value? I mean, how much value do we get for the money? And then okay, so if we know he's not going to get a lot of targets, so we're saying we're paying a high-paid decoy. You got to make sure that if you get these kind of guys, they got to fit into the system that you want to run. They got to fit into the system you want to run. Now, if you got a system, you're going to throw the ball 30, 40 times, hey, man, you probably do well getting these type of wide receivers, 2 of them. But if you're in a system to where I believe the Cowboys are going to go to, where Dak is going to be very limited, I'm telling you, the magic number is somewhere around 25 to 28. Limited amount. It's going to be quality over quantity. And I'm not saying that Davante Adams couldn't survive in that, because he can. But somebody's going to have to be content with somebody's not going to be getting the ball a lot of times. They're not. Shell shot. He said that Kansas City would love Davante Adams. True story. Would you trade for Tyreek Hill? Too rich. Angie Rebel Chick says, I love how your streams are the sermon at church. Hey, to God be the glory. Keenan Allen, Kellen Allen, bro. Let me see here. He needs a tight end. I agree with you there too. But I guess we're going to give Ferguson, Stephen White, how you doing? We're going to give Ferguson one more shot. Yeah, a bona fide tight end, like Kelsey. Dak Prescott loves tight ends. And I don't think for a second that Dak wouldn't do good with Davante Adams. I think this team would be great with Davante Adams. But again, I think with Davante Adams, you got to ask yourself, how does he fit into the scheme? And hey, I'm sure you can fit the scheme around him. We're not tripping on that. But how much is he willing to play for? How much is he willing to play for? Because I promise you, if he's willing to play for a certain amount of money, the Cowboys will go get Davante Adams and no one even trips. Don't know be the best. $20 million is too rich for my blood for Keenan. Even Davante. I'm saying don't know the best. But I think what some of us want And I understand it because Davante Adams is a high-powered wide receiver. Again, I'm not knocking anybody for wanting Davante Adams. Yes, I understand. We want Davante Adams. But I don't think the question is so much, do we want Davante Adams? I don't think the question is about Davante Adams, is he still a good player? I don't think those are any other questions. And if they are the questions, they're rhetorical. We know he's good. How much is he willing to play for? I actually wanted the Dallas Cowboys to get Keenan Allen when he went to the Bears. I was mad when the Cowboys, but the price. I knew the Cowboys were not willing to pay the price. And price matters. It does. It just matters. I don't know how else to put it. Yeah, we saw that. And Nisi broke that for us, Mills. Appreciate you. Seahawks just sent Geno to the Raiders for a third-round pick. So what's the Cowboys' excuse for not doing nothing? We're going to see. Hey, we're about to see with the Cowboys. I'm telling you, I love what the Cowboys are doing. They're playing their hand very close to the vest, and I appreciate them doing it. Just don't tell anybody what you're doing. Just do it. Now, us content creators, we're doing all the talking, Mills. Cowboys aren't saying anything. Jerry didn't say anything. As much as people wanted to say it, he didn't really say anything. Mike McCain said what most of these receivers don't understand, whether they're great or not, they got cut for a reason. A new team is not going to pay that amount of money if your old team wasn't willing to. Exactly. Now, Mike McCain, they might find a team. Understand this, though, that if you find that team that's willing to pay that money, they're probably not the team you want to go to. They're probably not the team you want to go to. Stephen White, pay $10 million and draft the next. Intelligent Savage, I'm telling us, man, the offense is an easy fix whether people understand me or not. And you don't have to agree with me. But I can ask you a simple question. Where do we need the most help? Offense or defense? We need help on both. But which one needs the most help? Our defense. Our defense needs help. And whether we realize it or not, our defense has been one of the main reasons why we can't survive even with these big win years. We can't survive. The defense isn't good enough. Hey, Mills, I agree with you on that point. The Eagles, they sign players. They don't care about money or the cap. I think they do. They just got a neat way of doing it. They got a neat way of doing it. They need to be studied. Howie Roseman. There's no getting around it. He's the best GM in the business right now. Trade for Donnell Washington. We messed up. Angie said, preach. I'm just telling us. Andre Mosley. You can find immediate impact on skilled players in the draft versus immediate impact players on defense. You can give me some outliers because there are always going to be some anomalies. But defense, it just requires a little bit more seasoning unless this person is an absolute unicorn. So it would behoove the Cowboys, fix your defense in free agency. Get you some defense in the draft too, but let them be developing. Let them be developing. Get your skill positions in the first 3 rounds. 1, 2, and 3. Get those skill positions. Chase Young not spoken for yet, but we're going to see because I bet you he's going to go pretty fast. Azteca, casual Cowboy fans keep saying we've had top 5 defenses in the playoffs since 2014. Is that right? Because last I checked, all of our defense have failed us miserably at stopping the damn run. And exactly. Now, again, I want us to think about this. Let me go back. Let me show us something. I want us to think about this. We did this quite a bit during the Dan Quinn years. The Dallas Cowboys would rack up nothing. They would rack up nothing but stats. In the first the first half of the season, the Cowboys, you'd always hear the Cowboys are number 1. The Cowboys are number one defense, number one defense. You would hear this for weeks and weeks and weeks. Well, it's strange to me that we would be the number one defense. And then why is it every single time we get right down to the end and then we can't stop the run? You got to tell me, how does a top 5 defense, how can you be a top 5 defense and not stop the run? Make it make sense. You have to make it make sense. It doesn't. It actually doesn't make sense. How do we have these top ranked defenses? But we don't get me wrong. That 2019 season was tough. It really was. I think that was the season that we lost to the Green Bay Packers. Can't remember the exact season. I'm thinking that was 2021, maybe? I mean, not to the Green Bay Packers, the one we lost to the San Francisco 49ers. That was a tough loss. I mean, it really was. But, again, when you look at our defensive rankings, we would always be ranked at the top. How is it then we couldn't stop the run at the end? What top 5 defense can't stop the run? And a lot of that has been fool's gold with us, and we don't even realize it. But our defenses have been fool's gold. They have been good enough to beat the average teams and dominate the average teams. They're not good enough to beat the good teams. We need a dominant defense. We do. Mills 36. Again, I'll say this. I'm going to give them credit. They haven't been talking. But they're gonna let us know what they're doing. They're going to let us know what they're doing next week, and I'm excited. I'm very excited about what they're going to do. O-line bad. And, again, the Cowboys think they have their O-line for whatever reason, so we might as well get ready. We just got to see what it turns out to be. They think they have their O-line. They do. They think they have their O-line. I could see them maybe bringing in Will Hernandez. We'll see if they draft an offensive tackle. I'm gonna be tripping if they do that. But I'm just telling you, bottom superstar, he said we're gonna get your love offering and speakers offering, my brother. I'm just telling us. Let me go down here a little bit further. Azteca, we haven't had an elite defense since the 90s. We haven't. And I don't think people understand that. And the way you build elite defenses, because the defenses take longer to develop. We know this now. Defensive linemen take longer to develop. Not every corner is a superstar corner. It takes time. The safeties, they take a little time. The linebackers, now they can come in and thump. You can get some linebackers, they can come in, pick it up and thump. Because I kind of equate the linebacker position to the running back position on offense. I equate those two kind of one and the same. Because if you are just a guy that can tackle, you're quick, and you can just get to the ball, it's pretty hard to stop that. It's just like a running back. Running the ball, if you can run the ball, pretty hard to stop. I mean, if you're just a gifted, natural runner of the ball, hey, man, you don't need much. You don't even need somebody to get blocked. You just need somebody to get knocked off balance. You run right by people. Arm tackles don't get you. You shake people out their shoes. Running backs are different. Linebackers are different. But we need way more than that. We need way more than that. For sure. We need way more than that. Y'all said we need some organs and tambourines. I hear you. I'm telling us. Azteca said, I'm tired of hearing casual ESPN listening fans coming in on all these Cowboy string sayings, but we had so many Pro Bowl defensive players. Hey, we didn't. And don't get me wrong, we've always done well at getting players. We haven't done well at building teams, building championship offenses. We just haven't done a good job of that. We haven't done a good job. But again, I'm just telling us, you know, when it comes to these players, and again, Devontae Adams, I just don't want all the Cowboy fans to get up on Davante Adams. Man, come on. Man, this is like going somewhere. I mean, this is like going school shopping with your mama, and you got a school shopping budget, and here you are over here, you got a $500 or $600 school budget, and you come up to your mama talking about, I want a pair of Air Jordan sneakers and a Gucci belt. Well, what clothes are you gonna wear? Because if your school clothes budget is $600 and you want a pair of Air Jordan sneakers and a Gucci belt, unless you're going to the swap meet, you ain't wearing no clothes. So I guess you're going to be wearing all your last year clothes with a Gucci belt and a pair of Air Jordans because for the most part, you ain't got nothing left. You got to fit things within your budget. And Davante Adams, man, I'm just telling us, man, this dude Davante Adams, man, he's worth the money that, I mean, for as good as everyone is saying he is, then understand something then. We got to make sure we don't talk out of both sides of our mouth. If he's that good, then he ain't coming here for $15 million. If Davante Adams is and I agree, if Davante Adams is great, but if you think he's coming somewhere for $15 million, which he could, but if he comes somewhere for $15 million, one, it's because no one else will pay him. Or number two, he's chosen a team that he says, I want to play here because I think this team is going to get a championship, not later but sooner. All right, y'all, hold on. I'm trying to open up these phone lines, see if some of y'all want to make a call in. But I'm just telling us, man, this stuff, when you start talking about these free agents, man, you got to be real careful with this stuff. It's just like anything else when you're shopping, man. You go in the store and you blow everything on one thing. Now you scrambling on how you're going to do what you need. How many people have you seen? They go and blow their whole budget on what they want, and then when it comes to what they need, they don't have it. I'm telling you, the Cowboys got to be real careful in how they do this. Oh, yeah, Jigga, man, appreciate you. What's going on with you? Our girl Angie, she already broke that for us. I appreciate it. But, man, I tell you what, that was a good pickup because now that enables you to fix, now you can fix two birds with one stone. You got a quarterback for a third-round draft pick, man, I'll take it. Now, Geno Smith, we know he's just going to be a bridge, but he'll be good for about 3 or 4 years. Genty's going to be great 3 or 4 years. Man, you just signed Max Crosby. And I don't know if y'all watched the Raiders with terrible quarterback play. And I don't know, maybe decent quarterback play. Anybody see what they did to the Kansas City Chiefs? They gave him everything they could handle. They gave the Kansas City Chiefs everything they could handle. Raiders are making some serious moves. They shocked me. I mean, it's not like I follow the Raiders. But I'll tell you this. They shocked me with that move. They shocked me with the Geno Smith move. That's a heck of a move right there. I got to give it to him. That is a heck of a move. All right, guys, I'm going to open up the phone lines here in just a moment. Rules of engagement, let's keep it cool. Let's keep it calm. No cursing. Let's be respectful to everybody. And, just give us your thoughts on what you think the Cowboys should do in free agency. I'm going to turn it on here in just a moment. All right. Phone lines are open. Last time I opened the phone lines, nobody but Louise called in. Let me read some comments while I'm going over this. AK, Geno over Darnold. Interesting. Well, AK, think about it. Pete Carroll liked Geno Smith. Pete Carroll likes Geno Smith. Bottom line. I mean, that's the end. That's really the end of the discussion on that one. Pete Carroll likes Geno Smith. Now, Sam Darnold. I saw something else today that I thought was absolutely interesting. That the Minnesota Vikings are trying to get Sam Darnold so they can build around Sam Darnold. Wow. So what are they going to do with J.J. McCarthy? I think that's his name, right? And the question also becomes, as it applies to J.J. McCarthy, they could probably get a draft pick for him. I mean, they could literally probably get a draft pick. If the Vikings get Sam Darnold, they could easily get a draft pick. It's going to be very interesting, but I'm hearing that the Vikings are trying to get one Sam Darnold. I'm telling y'all, for everything we're saying about the Cowboys, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I'll tell you this. Monday, and especially Wednesday, it's D-Day. It is D-Day on Wednesday. We should start hearing some talk on Monday. But come Wednesday, it's D-Day. Now, I don't expect the Cowboys to do something day one, but it won't shock me. Day two, I'm expecting to hear the Cowboys' moves. Now, the move that I'm more interested than anything to hear from the Dallas Cowboys is this simple. I want to hear them sign Micah Parsons by tomorrow. No later than Sunday. Cowboys, please. They're doing better than they did with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, but that ain't good enough. Dak Prescott, he didn't sign until the first game. I mean, the morning of the first game. CeeDee Lamb was signed, what was it, in August, somewhere in there? Okay, at least they're talking to Micah Parsons. That ain't good enough. The Cowboys need to be very careful how they proceed. And the reason why they need to be careful about how they proceed is this simple. Who expected Max Crosby to get an extension? Who expected Max Crosby? I mean, I hadn't even thought about anybody getting signed before Micah Parsons. I hadn't even thought about it. Hadn't even thought about it. Max Crosby signs a huge deal. We got free agency coming up. The Cowboys don't need another surprise. They don't need another surprise of someone else getting a huge contract because we already know what free agency is. Day one, you see a lot of people getting overpaid. You do. Bottom line, you do. I'm just telling us, we do. So you mess around on this first day and let someone sign a huge deal, it just pushes the price up for Micah Parsons. Now, Micah Parsons has said he doesn't have to be the highest paid player. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm just ignoring that. The reason why I've been critical of it because I never believed it. He could prove me wrong, and I'm not going to be mad if he isn't the highest paid. I'm not going to be mad if Micah Parsons is the highest paid player. One thing I do not subscribe to as a grown man is watching people's pockets. Now, when I talk from the perspective of a team, I'm talking different. Because the team goal is not to pay the player or not pay players all the money you can. You want to pay them the money. You want to pay them, in reality, you want to pay them enough money to where you can also get players around them. It is your job to figure out how to keep all the players that you want. It's not the player's job. So I'm never mad at the players for getting paid. Never mad at the players. This is a brutal sport. And one contract might be the last contract you get. I'm never mad at people getting their money. I'm never mad at that stuff. I'm just not mad at it. From the Cowboys' perspective, though, money matters. How you're going to spend this money matters. So they have to make a point to make sure they're spending the money wisely. Azteca, he says, Darnold either stays in Minnesota or goes with New York Giants. Man, I'm telling you. I already said this before, Azteca. Man, I'm just telling you. I just think different when it comes to some of this stuff. Some of these things that people have been saying about the NFL draft. Some of these things people have been saying, looking at what they have projected right now. Man, I'm sorry. If I'm Tennessee, if I'm the New York Giants, I mean, unless I really am sold, and maybe Tennessee is sold on Cam Ward, and maybe the New York Giants are sold on Shedeur Sanders. Man, I'm just telling you. Sam Darnold, man, I would probably pick up Sam Darnold and trade back and get another first-round draft pick. Sam Darnold for a team needing a quarterback, man, I mean, because you have to ask yourself, how much better is Cam Ward than Sam Darnold? How much better is Shedeur Sanders than Sam Darnold? Now, if you want to make those two quarterbacks your franchise quarterbacks, that's great. Then the Sam Darnold thing means absolutely nothing to you. But if you wanted to get a couple of extra first-round draft picks, man, I'd mess around and bring in Sam Darnold. I'd wait on next year's quarterback class. I've heard from some of you guys who watch college football on the regular. I've heard from some of you guys that there are going to be that next year's quarterback draft class is better than this one. Well, if that's my thought process, I might try to figure out how to get me an extra first-round draft pick. I might trade back. I might get me an extra one. I'm serious. I might. Don't know. He says, I don't think so. Shotty was fired by Pete Carroll for wanting to throw the ball more. Yeah, I know. Now, I talked about that. I know. And don't get me wrong. I don't think Dak is not going to throw the ball, but I don't think they're going to have Dak throwing the ball 30 and 40 times. I think that's going to be out of the question. But again, even with throwing the ball a lot, the question again about Davante Adams, the only question that needs to be answered about Davante Adams, what is he willing to play for? That's it. What is he willing to play for? Because Cowboys, I'm sure, have in their budget how much they're willing to pay him. Question is, how much is he willing to play for them for? And the Cowboys are not going to go out and blow the budget on Davante Adams. I don't believe it. I don't believe they're going to blow the budget. I don't think Dak is on the decline. I think what happened to Dak Prescott and the entire team, in a sense, I think the environment for the Cowboys, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you something that I got planned tonight. But there's a player. He was asked what was wrong with the Cowboys last year. Mills, his answer is incredible. He gave one word answer. He said everything. This dude said everything. That was it. He didn't even explain. He said everything. How crazy is that when you're asked, what's wrong with the team last year, and you say everything? Is there anything else left to say? Everything. And I think they all suffered. Across the board, they all suffered for it. And I'm telling you, Schottenheimer's hire is telling you everything that was wrong with the Cowboys. Communication, culture, continuity. And let's add another C, coaching. They were broke down, man. The Cowboys were tore up from the floor up. They were. There's no getting around it. They were tore up from the floor up, period. And the part that they're doing right now, I love it. They're fixing the culture. They're fixing the culture. And again, you think about it, Mills, and I agree with you, talk is cheap, but understand this. Again, Cowboys really hadn't been talking. I mean, short of Jerry Jones and what he said the other day, and Jerry didn't tell us anything in the grand scheme of things. He didn't tell us anything. I can tell you what they are telling us. Actions speak louder than words. There are two indicators that the Cowboys are going to play in free agency. Two indicators. They restructured CeeDee Lamb. They restructured Dak Prescott. There it is. You don't do that unless you're playing in free agency. The Cowboys, contrary to what some people said, yeah, they reworked the contracts. Now they can sign Michael Parsons. They didn't need to do the contracts to re-sign Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is already signed. If the Dallas Cowboys extend Michael Parsons, it actually saves them money on this year's cap. They didn't have to do anything to sign Michael Parsons. Even when you think about Oso Digizua, well, they added money to the salary cap. They're not reworking deals for Oso Digizua. They're reworking deals for what they're about to do. Y'all can book it. I'm just telling you. Now, what I'm not telling you is you're going to like everything the Cowboys are going to do. I'm not going to tell you that. Oh, hold on a second. Let me read what my man put here. And then let me read this super chat. George Boney, what's going on? CD going to show out if the targets get cut down. Hey, you bring in a wide receiver like a Devontae Adams. Let me tell you something, George Boney. Not only are you going to have to accept that your target's going to get cut down, you're actually going to have to be content that there may be a game, maybe 5 or 6 games, a dude like Devontae Adams, shoot, man, you better get ready. A dude like Devontae Adams, shoot, man, Devontae Adams may be the leading wide receiver for the team. Man, you mess around and get a dude like Devontae Adams, I mean, you got to check your ego at the door. I'm just being 100% real. Man, you better check your ego at the door if Devontae Adams walked through that thing. You got to check your ego at the door. In my estimation, I was saying this about Devontae Adams last year during the season when it came up about Devontae Adams and going to the Cowboys. I was talking about this last year, George Boney. I perceive Devontae Adams to be an absolute dog. Devontae Adams to me comes off like an alpha male. Point blank dog. Devontae Adams is not walking in the building saying, hey, CeeDee Lamb, you're the number 1 wide receiver. He ain't walking in like that. He ain't walking in like that. No, Devontae Adams walks in your building. Devontae Adams says, I'm here to show up and show out. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to show up, show out, and I'm here to win. Devontae Adams comes into your building. You better check your ego at the door. You better check your ego at the door. I'm telling you. Dro knows what's up. He said, I'm super enthused that Geno traded to Oakland. That means they're taking Genty. They are. Really want us to take Kelvin Banks or Tyler Booker at 12. I feel you. Appreciate that super chat. Okay, y'all college football. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, okay. You talking about that offensive tackle we was asking about. All right. Okay. So you saying he the truth, Dro knows. Okay. Well, if they get Kelvin Banks as at the 12th spot, that tells me he's actually taking that's telling me that he's actually going to probably take Zach Martin's spot. That's what that's telling me. And then that's telling me that Brock Hoffman will probably compete with Terrence Steele for that tackle spot. I mean, that's what that's telling me. Y'all tell me what you think on that. Yes, sir. Dro knows. Yep. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I talked about this last week, Dro knows. The moment that top 11 changes, it's a ripple effect. Because the moment someone says, I'm getting this player over that player, now it rearranges because someone says, well, this player right here is free now, so now I want this player. The Raiders getting their quarterback, I thought they were going to trade up and try to get the number 1 spot from Tennessee. We're going to see if Tennessee still gets to trade that number 1 spot. Wouldn't it be crazy if the Cowboys still try to trade for that number one spot? That'd be insane. But if all things stays the same, the Cowboys look like they're going to get Kelvin Banks Jr. unless somebody surprises us and gets Kelvin Banks Jr. in front of us. But hey, he big body for sure. He big body for sure, Dro knows. And sounds like Savage said he want him too. So looks like he's going to be a great pickup for the Dallas Cowboys for sure. Sounds like he's going to be a great pickup for the Cowboys. Even though, don't get me wrong, I do not want the Cowboys to go O-line in the first round. So if the Cowboys go O-line in the first round, this dude better be the truth. Man, this dude better be the truth. I'm awake, he says, get your running back later. Let me see here. I want to try to catch where you are on that. Let me go back a little bit. Gregory Davis said, with Geno going to the Raiders, I don't believe the Raiders will go Ted McMillan wide receiver instead of Genty. Hey, that'll be crazy too. That'll be crazy too. Okay, and y'all keep talking about Kelvin Banks. Okay. Seahawks need a quarterback, so trade back with them sounds good. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure they're not finished. Yeah, I'm sure they're not finished. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm sure they're not finished. The Seahawks, now that they don't have a quarterback, they're going to probably do something in the draft, so that could bode well for us. Jerry Jones said that those draft picks are at a premium right now. Yeah, it's a premium. Skull Unknown, what's going on? Sanders is ranked 34 in ESPN draft rankings. He should be there at 12. If nobody gets quarterback, honestly, Quinn Ewers is a greater option also. I'm not sure the Cowboys are looking for those two at the quarterback position. I got a strange feeling the Cowboys have their eyes set on the kid from Alabama. I think, because I'm going to tell you why. The reason why I think the Cowboys have their eyes, what's his name? Is it Jaden? I think the thing that what's going on is the Cowboys have visions of grandeur. Cowboys have, Jalen Milroe. I think that's the kid. The Cowboys have visions of grandeur. Rumor had it the Cowboys wanted to choose Jalen Hurts. That was a rumor. And I think he reminds them of Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to be surprised if the Cowboys pick up Jalen Milroe. I'm just not. And they'll probably get him in the later rounds. I'm just not going to be surprised if they get Jalen Milroe. Angie, I'm telling you, Rico should go get his money. Because I can tell you now, Angie, Cowboys ain't offering no big money. Cowboys not going to offer him big money. They're not. They're just not going to offer him big money. Hey, Sean M., I'm telling you, hey, he said the more I keep looking at it, I'll have to go with them boys from Ohio State. Like G said, hey, man, Ibuka and Travion, oh, man. Man, Emeka Ibuka and Travion Henderson would be crazy for the Cowboys. Would be crazy for the Cowboys. Man, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Don't know the beast. The Cowboys need to stop going after injured players like J.K. Dobbins. I agree. And again, when it comes to the free agency thing, I want us to understand this. The Cowboys will be fine. If they walk away from free agency and not get one offensive player, the Cowboys will be fine. What they can't walk away from this free agency and not do is get multiple defensive players. They can't. They cannot do it. The Cowboys have to in this draft. In this free agency, they have to go in and they have to come out, at least in my opinion. I could be totally wrong. But based on their needs, the Cowboys got to come out of this free agency with a minimum 4 players. Minimum. They got to come out with 4 players. They got to come out with at least a defensive tackle, edge rusher, linebacker, cornerback. They have to come out with those 4. They have to. And if I was them, I would try to get even more. I would not be concerned about the skill positions unless I'm going to bring in a running back. I'll bring in an A.J. Dillon. I'll bring in a Nick Chubb. I'll bring them in at $2 million. They still got some tread left on the tire. A.J. Dillon, again, a big bruising back. The Cowboys wanted him last year. They could probably get him this year even cheaper. I would go out there and get A.J. Dillon. If you want a wide receiver, I wouldn't be looking as high as a Davante Adams unless I know that Davante Adams is coming in here with a discount. If Davante Adams is coming in here with $15 million, okay, maybe you start trying to move some things around. Davante Adams at 25, 24, 23. Davante Adams 20 and up, man, we'd be crazy. We would be literally crazy. I mean, unless you work that deal out, and don't let me say we're totally crazy, unless you work Davante Adams deal out to where you're saying the cap hit minimal this season, and then you push money down in the void years. If you can work it like that, work it like that. But, man, you're going to be spreading a lot of money around. And eventually you're going to come back and pay the piper. You are. Matthew Golden in round 1. Won't shock me. Travion Henderson round 2. It definitely won't shock me. Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. You heard plenty from me on Rico last weekend show. Yes, sir. Man, I'm telling you, the Cowboys got to go in the draft, man. That's the bottom line for me. The Cowboys got to go in the draft for these skill positions. But the defense, they got to fix this here. Walter said he says Javonte Williams and Nick Chubb. Yeah, there's some heat. Dominique, Nick Chubb, Aaron Jones. Man, let me tell you something. Jerry Jones is a shrewd operator. Rumor had it that Mike McCarthy wanted Aaron Jones last year. And Jerry Jones brought in Zeke. How much of a slap in the face would it be to this year bring in Aaron Jones? Paul Jerry would be a shrewd operator for that move. Shrewd operator. Skull Unknown said tons of good running backs. Honestly, don't need to pay any free agent running backs. Aaron Jones is cold, though. Man, I'm telling you, they could get, let's just even say Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, you're probably not getting for no 4 years. Aaron Jones, if you want to get him on a 1-year deal, maybe you want to pay him $6-7 million. Fix a void year in there to where you can push a year down the road. Get you an Aaron Jones and still go in the draft. The Cowboys will be fine, though. I'm telling us all, they'll be fine if they don't touch any positions, any skill positions in the free agency. They'll be fine. They'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, Aaron Jones wouldn't be bad either. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Nick Chubb. Those are the 3 I would not mind having. Cowboys looking at Najee. Oh, Mills said it ain't so. I can't get that one in my head. That's crazy to me. Superstar Status said I would take Jones and Chubb, and that's me. I would take Jones and Chubb and still add a running back. I would add one of them, but I'm definitely going in the draft, for sure. I'm going in the draft. My girl Nisa said, gee, if they get Aaron Jones, that would be Jerry's final. I was just saying the same thing, Nisa. You want to talk about a slap in the face. If Jerry Jones goes and gets Aaron Jones, knowing that Mike McCarthy wanted Aaron Jones, you are not lying. That would be the final middle finger to Mike McCarthy. That would be the ultimate middle finger. And I believe you, Nisi, he is petty enough to do it. And I'll tell you this, I think this Ewers kid, I think he knocked himself out of Dallas working out with Mike McCarthy. I literally think he knocked himself out of Dallas. I thought that immediately when they said he's working out with Mike McCarthy. They said he ain't going to Dallas. Young star, Cowboys going to bring in J.K. Dobbins. Oh, man. Why? But I think Dobbins might have a little something. But, oh, man. Michael Towery. You gotta make it make sense. Now, one part of why they're not signing Michael Parsons, well, he's already signed. The question is, why haven't they extended him? Why haven't they extended him? Because I got a feeling Michael Parsons will not hit that field if they don't extend him. So might as well extend him now. They know they are signing him, so why wait? Price just keep going up. It was the same with Dak and Cedric. Now, Michael, we talked about this in the past, and as crazy as this may seem, I think Jerry Jones likes having the highest paid players at certain positions. I think he likes it. He didn't have to pay Dak $200. He didn't have to pay Dak $60 million a year, $231 million. The CeeDee Lamb deal, he could have did that early. The Dak deal, he could have did early. The Michael Parsons deal, Michael Parsons has been begging him to do it early. No one told him to do it late. I think Jerry likes this drama. I just think he likes this drama. I think he likes having the highest paid players at positions. It's the only thing that makes sense. Because he doesn't have to do it. It don't make sense. Damian Martinez. That reminds me. I actually had Damian Martinez on the list. Before I get out of here, I want to check out a couple of things on Damian Martinez. To me, Damian Martinez, and I'm going to wait till after free agency, and then after free agency, I'm going to start doing a lot of mock drafts, because you really can't do, at least to me, you really can't do a really good mock draft until we kind of know what this free agency stuff is going to shake down. We need to know at least how this free agency is going to shake down. Once it shakes down, then we can really start doing something. But this Damian Martinez kid, I've been screaming the Cowboys need to go get 2 running backs. Now, I'm not changing my mind. Man, this dude, Michael Yarns is a great candidate. Not only Michael Yarns, Bashul Tootin, another great candidate. But now they're saying Damian Martinez. Let's go check him out. I'm going to find somebody. Hopefully we won't get copyrighted on this one. We won't play the sound on it. Let's see if we can pull up here. All right, let's check him out. I got some film on him here. He seems like he's a big bruising back, that's for sure. Let's check him out. Alex Tyson said Damian Martinez is a tank. Let's check him out. Oh, I see. He's not a small kid either. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. He's not a small kid either, for sure. Man. I hadn't seen him before. Y'all seen him? Like I said, when his name came up, I was kind of like, okay, who is this kid? Yeah, he definitely not no small kid. Arm tackles ain't doing it for him. Yeah, arm tackles ain't doing it for this dude. He ain't no chump. Okay, I see him. And I don't even think he had 440 speed, but he look like he got some football speed, that's for sure. Oh, I like that move right there. Yeah, see them arm tackles. It's hard to bring down a dude like this with arm tackles. He hard to bring down with them arm tackles. Yeah, them. Oh no, they. Hey man, them arm tackles don't get it with a dude like this. What? Oh, I'm sorry, I hit that on accident. Let me hit that rewind button on this one. Hold on a second. Let me hit this rewind button. I hit my button on accident from laughing. Hey man, arm tackles don't do it on no dude like this. Yeah. Arm tackles not good enough. I see it. I see it. Okay. Savage. Y'all tell me what you're thinking on Damian Martinez. Alex Tyson said he a tank. Y'all college football watchers, y'all tell me what you think on Damian. I like the moves. Now, see, some people don't understand what I'm about to say, but there's a difference in combine speed and football speed, track speed, football speed. Now, some guys, they got both. I mean, when you get the real good runners, they got both. One of my sons, I wish he would have kept playing and kept running, but he had both. He'd absolutely get away from you in football. Just get away from you. You think he wasn't even running fast? He just outrun everybody. And he was the same way on the track field. Some guys got both. Ezekiel Elliott, I think, was one of those types of guys. This guy got football speed. That's what we're seeing is football speed. I think they only have him rated as a 4.51. He got football speed. Yeah, you don't want to see him coming if you're a defensive back. Okay, I like what I'm seeing. Now, what I'm wondering is where are the Cowboys talking about getting him at? Because if I'm not mistaken, he's the 15th rated running back on NFL Draft Buzz. Oh, yeah. Yeah, them arm tackles ain't working on this dude. Okay, I see what he working with. Yeah, he got football speed. Yep. Struggled at the goal line this year. Been struggling at the goal line. We've been struggling inside the 20. Arm tackles, you can forget it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like what I saw right there. I like what I saw. That boy got some, hey. It really goes to show you what we are watching right now. This draft is so deep with running backs. This draft is so deep with running backs. I still believe the Cowboys could trade back and still get this kid and Travion Henderson. Still get this kid and Travion Henderson. And to top it off, get Emeka Egbuka. I think they can still get all three of them. I'm telling you guys, in free agency, I mean, unless you get a super deal on a Devontae Adams or DK Metcalf, I would much rather be. I'll be honest with you. I would actually much rather the Cowboys get some kind of incredible deal on Myles Garrett. I'm just more about the defense in this free agency, because there is so much of this right here, what we're looking at. There is so much of this in the draft. So much. That kid nice. Young star, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring back Michael Gallup, because we're still paying him. Intelligent. He said facts. Older wide receivers only help with the grooming of the top rookie wide receivers, and Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen each would be good mentors and are great route runners. Yeah, they'd be good for that. For sure. Appreciate you. I'm awake. Hey, I tell you, I think the one you could probably get back at the best price would be Amari Cooper. I think he's the one you get at the best price. The other ones, I'm just really wondering, how much will it take to get Devontae Adams in your building? I'm just wondering. Devontae Adams, it's going to be serious money. And that's why I say, when we're talking about Devontae Adams, I do believe we can all agree Devontae Adams would be great for the Cowboys. The question is, how much is he willing to play for? That's the only question that needs to be answered. Anything else, I mean, okay, it's good discussion, but anything else, it really don't matter. It's bottom line, it really don't matter. It's all about, what is he willing to play for? That's it. Mike McCain, he said this is actually true about top 5 defenses since 2014, because Ron Miller only had 3 of them and 4 in the top 10. So we've had defenses. Yeah, our problem is we've had those top-heavy defenses. But again, when you start getting down to the end, we're not good enough. Intelligent Savage says, sad to say we are a gently used, scratched, and dent team the way Steven and Jones like. But I believe the fan base must put their feet to the fire to get the true players in free agency we want. I tell you this, I'll be honest with you. I think it's already worked. I think it's already worked. I do. And again, the proof is going to be in the pudding next week. The proof is going to be in the pudding next week. They're gonna have to show us now. Enough. They're gonna have to show us. Superstar status, build trenches, then go to the draft, much needed skill positions. That's it. Man, you build defenses, at least in my opinion. The defense is where you go in free agency. The occasional left tackle. The skill positions, if the draft don't look right, and maybe there are a plethora of them out there. But when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, each situation is different. The Cowboys already have a top flight wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb is top 3, bar none. And some people eyes CeeDee is top 5, bar none. So you already got a top 5 wide receiver. It would be great to go get another top 5 wide receiver. That is typically not the case. But if you could have a top 5 wide receiver and a top 15 wide receiver, you got something. When I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't see 2 top 10 wide receivers. That's not what I see. I see actually for them, you could argue a top 15, maybe 2 top 15s. I don't see a top 10 and a top 15. I see 2 top 15s. A.J. Brown, maybe he could scoot into the top 10. We could argue that he's a top 10. Devontae Smith is a top 15. That's what you got with the Philadelphia Eagles. You typically don't see 2 top 5 receivers. Not saying it can't happen, but it can. Oh, superstar status. You better stop telling truth. The Bills couldn't do it, and that's why they couldn't beat those good teams. They couldn't beat the teams that could run the ball. They couldn't. Eagles defense took 1 year. The Cowboys, I've already said though, Mills, I don't think this is the competition year for the Cowboys. I think they get back competitive. I think 2026 is going to be the year. But the Cowboys need to start now building that defense. And they got to build it through free agency. Because again, the defensive players just take too long to develop. And typically it's right around the time they hit free agency. What happens? They're ready to pop. And the reason why a lot of times they're on the market. Why? Because they played themselves out of contracts. Oso Digizua almost did it. They play themselves out of contracts. That's typically what happens to the top defensive players on the market. Josh Sweat, like it, love it, or hate it, Josh Sweat played himself out of a contract. The Eagles got Josh Sweat on a bargain. They did. Oh, boy. Hey, intelligent. Hey, you remember that back in the day, man? Man, them kids I can remember my own self. Man, you be ready to blow a whole budget on a pair of shoes. And your mom be like, boy, you better get your butt. Hey, the same answer you gave. Boy, you better get your butt somewhere and sit down. Man, I'm telling you, people be ready to blow the whole budget on the stuff they want rather than the stuff they need. Cowboys really got to go in this doggone free agency, man. They got to get to work. They got to get to work. Micah Parsons needs help. And you're not getting Abdul Carter. I mean, at least I think you're not. You're not getting Abdul Carter. You're not getting those unicorn players in the top 10 let's come in and make impact on defense. So you got to do it in the free agency. They got to get Micah Parsons some help all the way around. Freddie from El Paso, what's going on? Hey, the clock is ticking. And if they don't get it going, they'll probably try to do it in 3. But I think he'll get 4. They got to do it in 4. Eddie said we'd only getting them school clothes at Goodwill. man, I'm telling you, you better get that stuff you need. Dro knows, yes, sir, was good with you, my brother. Appreciate your comments earlier. Mike Tower, we're a top 5 defense until we get, hey, I'm telling you. Superstar, what do you think about Hendrickson? Do you think the Cowboys should make a move for him? See, again, Hendrickson, man, he would almost be the perfect complement to Micah Parsons. Because from what I saw when he played against the Cowboys, he lined up on the right side of the line. Micah Parsons, he seems to like to line up on the left side of the line. Trey Hendrickson would be a great complement to Micah Parsons. But again, the problem we have with Trey Hendrickson, what is he willing to play for? Because you have a superstar edge rusher in Micah Parsons. Max Crosby has just ran up the price. He's just ran up the price on edge rushers. We got to, and again, and if we're even thinking about Trey Hendrickson, superstar, we better take care of Micah Parsons. We need to nip that Micah Parsons deal in the bud. So that if we even want to discuss Trey Hendrickson, we gotta nip that in the bud. Because Trey Hendrickson, man, let me tell you something about Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson's stat line this year was crazy, if I'm not mistaken. And man, let me tell y'all something. Boy, for everything we say about Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, boy, y'all think we got it bad. Them doggone Cincinnati Bengals are terrible. They terrible, man. Man, them dudes got T. Higgins on a doggone, they got T. Higgins again on a doggone tag. Jamar Chase, 5th-year option. Don't want, I mean, Trey Hendrickson, go seek you a trade. What in the world? Boy, y'all think we got it bad? Dude's crazy. Man, let me show you this dude, Trayvon Henderson's, man, let me show you this dude's stat line, bro. This dude's stat line is insanity. Now, when you look at him from a tackling standpoint as a defensive end, and the Bengals defense was, I hate to use the word trash when you're talking about grown men. The men were not trash, but the defense, something was just broken. These boys was terrible. Look at this dude's stat line. Man, this dude has 17 and a half sacks. Oh my gosh. This dude has 17 and a half sacks. That's crazy work. That is absolute crazy work. This dude was averaging 1 sack per game. Crazy work, man. And then, you know, when you start talking about sacks and stuff like that, look at some of the teams he's getting these sacks against. He got 2 on Kansas City, 2 on the Giants, 2 on the Cleveland, 4 on the Raiders, 4 on the Raiders, half on the Chargers, got 1 on us, 1 on Cleveland, half on Denver. This boy went crazy on the Pittsburgh Steelers, 3.5 sacks. This dude's pretty active. He's pretty active. 33 tackles. He's pretty active. 13 solo tackles. Might, you know, but he's a defensive end. You know, I'd like to see a little bit more productivity in the tackle situation. Runs for stuffs, 10. I mean, man, this dude 2024 season was crazy. That's one of the reasons why that's one of the reasons why the Bengals, I guess they're just basically telling them, man, we ain't paying you. So going out there, you've earned your money. You ain't getting it from us though. That's crazy. That's crazy work. Robert N. Bro, they got to get this deal. And I'm telling this, Robert, the deal they have to get done is Micah Parsons. They got to get that deal done. That deal has to be done. Yes. Angie Rebel Chicks. She said, hashtag 877, pay Michael now. Man, pay Michael Parsons now. Pay him now. Fred Allen, the only reason why I'm disagreeing with you, because you're going off of past history, so I'm not hating on you. The only reason why I'm disagreeing with you, the Cowboys could have done Dak and CeeDee's deal after free agency. Why would they do it before free agency? It makes no sense. They don't need those deals to do Michael Parsons. It makes no sense. Troy Dudley, Dallas has nothing in linebacker, running back. That's where the draft need to go. And I think they could actually address the linebacker position in free agency. Nope, 70s fan, not surprised. Pete Carroll likes Geno Smith. Not surprised. Louise, I don't see Aaron Rodgers going to New York. If he does and Devontae follows again with Aguilar. We're going to see. Sam Darnold's going to be a hot commodity. But Aaron Rodgers ain't going to New York if they get Shador. He ain't going. So Aaron Rodgers might find, who knows? He could find himself in Pittsburgh. Mike McCain, I'm not counting the Cowboys on anything pre-June 1st. They're going to have to. I got a feeling. But again, everything is going to come out in the wash come Wednesday. Sounds like the Seahawks are tanking for that Manning pick in next year's draft if he comes out. What are they doing? We're about to see. We're about to see. But it goes to show you that they're basically ready to do something different at the quarterback position. Yeah, NFC is going to be very competitive, including the Cowboys. Very competitive. Dro knows. Man. Also took that Texas discount. Bro. There are so many different things to talk about on this Osa thing, and I'm going to talk about it later on tonight on the video. I'm telling you, Dro knows. Check the video out. I'm gonna drop tonight. Insane, man. Insane. I ain't going to say too much, but you're right. You're absolutely right. Osa took a Texas discount. But on top of that, I also think Osa and his agent are smart. It's just a 3-year deal. In the grand scheme of things, it's a 2-year deal. The Cowboys can walk away from Osa in 2 years. Minimal cap hit. But the good thing is, they walk away from Osa, he's still in his 20s. He can still go make money. He can still go make money. And again, you know, when you start talking about these deals, the Texas discount is the perfect name for it. Because you have to be aware, let's say an East Coast team wants you. Or I'm sorry, a West Coast team. And even an East Coast team, they have state taxes in those places. Well, you mess around and go there, the state taxes will knock you right back down like you didn't even get that money. So why go those places for the extra dollar that the state taxes are going to eat up when you can stay in Texas with no state taxes? And so many other things we enjoy in Texas. The cost of living is cheaper in Texas than some of these East Coast, West Coast places. When you weigh out all of that, you're making about the same amount of money those people. Imagine state taxes and the cost of living in California and in New York, places like that. Nah, I sit my butt in Texas. Johnny Woods, I'm with you. Can we please go get Allen already? I mean, that to me, those are some easy ones. Luis Ortiz, he says, can't stand Ward, selfish player, pretty cocky. Stephen White, hey, I tell you what, he's trying his best to get here. He is trying his best to get here. And if I'm Cleveland needs to stop playing. Cleveland need to go ahead and let this man go. Man, go get something for Myles Garrett while you can. Freddie said Adams to the boys won't work. He's not going to play second fiddle to CD, and CD is not taking a demotion to number 2 wide receiver behind Adam. Shoot, you think CD pouts now when the ball? Yeah. I'm telling us, Freddie, not coming to him, bring Adams and see what happens. I said this last year. If anybody go back and look at the video from last year, I was saying some of these similar things. Devontae Adams is a dog. I perceive him to be a dog. I also perceive him to be a person that walks in your building. And he ain't saying CD is the number 1. That's not how Devontae Adams is walking that building thinking. Now, I don't know how CD going to feel about that. I'm not in the man's head. I just know about the human ego. Hey, the human ego is different. I don't know about you, but at your job, somebody, hey, man, they go and hire somebody you're equal in the same position, and you're up for a promotion, or you've been the man all this time. They bring in somebody you're equal. Tell me what you want to. You start feeling some type of way. I'm just telling you, CD and Devontae, not saying they couldn't coexist. But again, you got to consider all these things. And I think Jerry does. And I don't know Jerry personally. But Jerry has a tendency not to do stuff like that. Jerry has a tendency not to bring in people to compete with his superstars. Jerry don't do that. Jerry don't do that. Go back to the 90s. Go look at the story about Troy Aikman and Steve Berline, I think his name was. Go look at that story. Troy Aikman got hurt. Steve Berline came in, and they won, and they won, and they won, and went to the playoffs with Steve Berline. What do you think they did with Steve Berline? Do you think he stayed in Dallas and continued to back him up? Go check history. Fernando said we need change. It's got to start in free agency. It's the one place the Cowboys have not played for years. Patrick says, if we pass on Genty, we're passing on the next Barry Sanders. Woo, man. Now, I know about them yards. Now, I've seen Genty run. Yard-wise, I don't see it in the run style. Woo, man. Barry Sanders was different. Sheesh. Stephen White, I'm with you. Jones is working more than talking this year. I like what he's doing. And I think he's showing us. He's doing it. Iron sharpens iron. I like that part too, Angie. I like that part too. Question is, I mean, these wide receivers, they divas. But we're going to see. But at the end of the day, again, as it applies to Adams, I just think he's too rich for the Cowboys' blood. Now, if they can figure out how to get him, do it. Do it. If you can figure out how to get Devontae Adams and get everything else you need, do it. Absolutely do it. But do not. The Cowboys cannot prioritize. This is, at least in my opinion, based on the facts. Someone else may have a different opinion. That don't make neither one of us wrong. Both of us could be right. The Cowboys could prioritize Devontae Adams, go get players and still win. I don't think they should prioritize Devontae Adams. They should prioritize the defense. Prioritize the defense. Go in this free agency and you get this doggone defense together once and for all. Intelligence says Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State, may be that 12th pick. Well, it seemed like they got this kid from Texas already penciled in. Drono said Brock Hoffman is a backup. We have to replace Zach Morton. Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass. Cowboys need better skill positions. Yes, go in the draft. Fred Allen, yep, go in the draft. Not O-line. I don't think they think they need O-line. I think they believe their O-line is set. And the only person I think they bring in to supplement this offensive line is going to be Will Hernandez. They'll go in the draft if it's true, and they'll get this offensive tackle from Texas. And they'll get him ready. They'll start developing him to take whoever's spot. Brock Hoffman and TJ are backup NFL offensive linemen. I got what you were saying for sure. Man, that dude Brock Hoffman, though, man, he might be all right. Angie said, I'm awake always in every Cowboys got to integrated chat. Do they ever go to the Eagles chat? A dominant defense with a balanced offense, what sets up the play action is football 101. And Michael Towery. That's why the Cowboys need a run game desperately. And they can get it in the draft, and they can get some veteran presence in the running back room. Again, Aaron Jones, my three, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Nick Chubb could be your veteran presence in the locker room. Now I see this guy, Damian Martinez. The Cowboys might get him on the third day if he's still there. And I think they'll still get another guy on the first or the second day. I believe they get two running backs in this draft. Damian Martinez, love what I saw. I'm going to go look at some more stuff on him tonight. Superstar said, I'm not even going to lie. I was disappointed on draft night when we took Mozzie and Guyton. So if they do it again, I'm going to be pissed. Hey, man, let me tell you. A lot of people were. They got to make those picks right. They got to make those picks right. Dro knows. I said the same thing, G. I wouldn't be surprised if we drafted Milroe. Hey, Dro knows. I think that's who they want. I think they want Milroe. He would be another, in their eyes, he would be a better Trey Lance. Let me tell you something. I believe the Cowboys, because they like Jalen Hurts, I think they want a running type quarterback. I do. I think they want a running quarterback. I think they like the excitement that it brings. And I think they like the fact that what Dak did early on. Man, Dak Dak before the injury, Dak was different before that injury. Dak was different. He was hard to stop. Defensive backs, linebackers were saying, man, this dude, Dak Prescott, when you see him, you see him in person, man, he way bigger. He bigger than you think he is, and he's hard to bring down. And you think about what really hurt Dak was that it was a drop hip tackle. Because cornerbacks just couldn't bring him down regularly. I mean, man, Dak was a load when he first came to Dallas. He really was. Now we got this new aerodynamic Dak Prescott. Now we're going to see what he looks like when he comes back because he says he's going to try to add muscle back to his body. Somebody said Rico's a third string running back. Hey, I tell you this, give me cash. I don't want the Cowboys to get him again. I want him to go get his money. I want the Cowboys going to draft. Oh, you talking about quarterback? Man, I'm telling you, I think they got their mind on this kid from Alabama. I do. All right, guys, we're going to be back tomorrow. Boy, we building up to free agency. Monday is the unofficial day. Unofficial day. Wednesday is going to be the official day. But a lot of the deals are going to get done on Monday and Tuesday. Between now and Monday, we're going to see a lot more cuts. So the free agency market, we'll come back and look at it tomorrow. It's going to be more people out there tomorrow, I guarantee you. Todd Church is talking about J.K. Dobbins. Only thing that gets me about the Cowboys and these younger running backs, I think they'll do that and then won't get anybody in the draft, or they'll get that and try to get somebody on the back end of the draft. The Cowboys, I believe, need to get somebody on the front end. Stop looking at these doggone retreads. Tyler Book, Alabama guard, could be the pick as well as another Muller. We're going to see. If they're going to get another running back, I want them to get one of those veteran guys, cheap. Don't have to worry about no 4 years, $16 million, 4 year, 20. I don't even want to deal with all that. Go get some of those guys you can get cheap, man. Get a guy, one of these guys like A.J. Dillon or Nick Chubb, you get for 2 for $8, or with $6 million guaranteed, or 3 for $12 and $8 million guaranteed, or whatever the case may be. I love that man Suge Midnight name. Suge Midnight said, he says, when your fan base is full of weirdos, you come and do weirdo stuff. That's why I'm awake is here. Man. All right, guys. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We're going to do it again tomorrow. We're going to do it again Sunday. And then Monday will be the day of truth. Man. I don't know how long I'm going to go that day. I'm going to have to take a vacation like I said the other day. I'm going to take a vacation because Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is going to be wild. Because in actuality, they say that free agency starts on Monday. To me, free agency, it's almost done on Monday. Because a lot of people are already making the deals. They've already made the deals on Monday and Tuesday. And so by Monday, you get a lot of the major deals. They're already done. But Wednesday and Thursday will be interesting too. We'll see. Again, guys, I appreciate you rocking with me. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Man, we're trying to hit 7,000, man. Y'all help me hit 7,000. Y'all make sure y'all share everything and help push this channel out there, man. We got a lot of great things coming. Louise says, if Aaron goes to New York, Adams follows, still have Aguilar, and you take Genty at third, what's their offense look like now? Man, the Cowboys got so many options, man. They got so many options, for sure. So many options. Edge got me rolling with that 877 thing. She got me rolling. 877, sign Michael now. Absolutely love it. Yes, sir. I agree with you on that part too, Robert M. It started 3 days ago. Boy, it's about to get cooking, though, come Monday. It is going to get cooking. Troy said Jimmy was a master knowing what buttons to push. Yes, he was. Jimmy is one of the million. Absolutely incredible. We're about to see something though, Troy Dudley. I think that this dude Brian Schottenheimer is going to turn out to be a different type of button presser. I do, because he's already pressed the buttons of Jerry and Steven, and I've never seen them in on a coach like this. I'm happy to see it, but I've never seen it, and I think it's going to pay dividends. All right, guys. Again, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I think we'll probably hit again around 4 o'clock. Around 4:30. I'm trying to make that my time so I don't be in the way of all these other content creators. There's so many of us. But again, appreciate y'all rocking with me. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys. We talk facts. Peace.